Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rounds Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the fourth game in the series between the Hawks and the Tigers, as it is a 2-1 lead for the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks entering the fray tonight. Well, some news and notes in the series so far. The first team that has scored a run in each of these games has gone on to lose the game. We'll see if that trend continues tonight or if one of these teams can buck that trend. Another item of note is the bottom thirds of the batting order have been abysmal. For the Hanshin Tigers, their bottom three hitters have gone a total of 2 for 30, whereas the Fukuoka Ball Club has gone 4 for 33. The number of runners left on base has been problematic. Lack of clutch hitting for both of these ball clubs. The Tigers have left 21 runners on base through the first three games. The Hawks have been a little bit more futile in that category. They have left 25 aboard. And as we enter into tonight's game, it'll be the Tigers who are looking to try to even the series here with a victory tonight. One of the victory in the next two games, and then the series will shift back to Fukuoka for a Saturday and a Sunday affair, and hopefully we can get to that. As a neutral, I am pulling for at least one win for the Tigers, and hopefully it comes tonight to make the series a far more entertaining piece moving forward through the rest of the way. I could also see a tie happening in one of these games. We haven't seen a tie in the Japan series for a while, and that would be kind of cool if we end up going to 8 games in the series. It'd be something that hasn't happened in quite a while. Well, we got our friend Joe Mansman in the house tonight, and everybody else who filters in. We had a large crowd last night, and hopefully tonight we can repeat the performance. We are going to give you the starting lineups, first of all, from the visitors from Fukuoka. There is a small change in the lineup, and we'll get to that in just a few. As leading off tonight in left field is number 9, Yuki Yanagita. Batting second in center field is number 23, Yukio Shudo. Hitting third in right field is number 32, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. The cleanup spot and playing first base is number 5, Otake Yamakawa. Batting in the fifth spot and playing third base is number 24, Ryoya Kurihara. Hitting sixth at shortstop is number 99, Asami Nomura. And that is the change tonight, as Kenta Imamiya, who got the start last night, is out. Interesting that they're turning it back over to Nomura. Batting in the seventh spot is the second baseman, number 8, Taisi Makihara. Looks like he is finally starting to swing the bat a bit in the series. Batting in the 8th spot is number 62, the catcher, Takeshi Umino. And batting ninth behind and doing the pitching tonight is number 26, Ryosuke Atsu, looking to bounce back from his start in and against the Fighters in the Climax Series. Well, they're going to be facing Haruto Takahashi, who takes to the hill for the Tigers tonight. In the Climax Series, he had 1 win and no losses. He worked 7 2/3 innings. He allowed 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. And obviously pitched to an ERA of 0. Well, that is your starting lineup for the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks. Now your starting lineup for the Hanshin Tigers. Leading off tonight and in center field is number 5, Koji Chikamoto. Batting second at second base is number 51, Takuma Nakano. Hitting third and right field is number 1, Shota Morishita. In the cleanup spot and playing third base is number 8, Terayaki Sato. Batting in the fifth spot at first base is number 3, Yusuke Oyama. Batting in the 6th spot and in left field, another revolving door position and another player tonight for the Tigers is number 58, Yukio Maegawa. Hitting in the 7th spot and doing the catching is number 12, Seishiro Sakamoto. Hitting 8th at shortstop is number 38, Ryuhei Obata. And doing the pitching is number 29, Haruto Takahashi. And they're going to be facing Ryosuke Atsu. As we mentioned, he struggled in the Climax Series. He dropped a decision against the Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters. He went 2 1/3 innings, allowed 5 hits, 3 runs, all were earned, walked 2 and struck out 1, pitching to an ERA of 7.36. Well, that is your starting lineup for tonight's ball game. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. It is Hawks and Tigers when we return, and just a few on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. The starter, Haruto Takahashi, is just completing his tune-up tosses, and we'll be ready to get this one underway here in just a moment. As the throw has gone down to second, they're firing it around the infield, and we are about ready to go. It'll be Yanagita, Shudo, and Yanagamachi to get things going here in the top of inning number 1 against the lefty. We might as well get it out of the way early. We sometimes get people come in wanting to know where they can get a feed for the game. I believe this one tonight is going to be on Nippon Television. TBS and Fuji TV have had some of the other games, but Nippon Television, if you are so inclined. There's a first pitch fastball delivered to Yanagita. It swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1. Tigers again in the home white with the pinstripes, the Fukuoka Ball Club with the white pants and the black tops. As the lefty Takahashi kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hawks, with a win tonight, would take a stranglehold on the series. If the Tigers can get a victory here, it'll force a 6th game back in Fukuoka. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded softly over to second. Fielded neatly by the second baseman, Nakano, who throws to first. And Yanagita is in the books on a ground out, 4-3. So 1 up and 1 away here in the first inning. And that's going to bring up the center fielder in Yukio Shudo. Well, for Shudo, he has had himself an excellent series so far. He was 5 for 5 in the second game of the series, 7 for 12 overall. He has no homers and 1 RBI. Our friend Juan Carlos in the house tonight. Once again, listening to us from Osaka as the first pitch is all the way, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Shudo. Shudo batting from the left side against the lefty, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. Count goes to 0-2. If I had to make a prediction in this one tonight, I do think that this would be the best opportunity for the Tigers to even the series. I do think that the edge here in the pitching goes to the Tigers in this one, as the lefty Takahashi works into the windup and delivers. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I do like the way that Takahashi works here on the hill. He has pretty good extension with his delivery. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to short, fielded neatly by the shortstop, Obata, who throws to first. The throw wasn't particularly good as it was up to the outfield side. Nice play there by Oyama to be able to make the pick, and that is going to retire Shudo on a ground out 6-3 for the second out of the inning. That is going to leave it all up to the right fielder in Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Well, for Yanagamachi, he had a triple last night that knocked in Yanagita. It was a timely hit. As he comes to bat here, he has struggled, though, in the series, 2 for 10, but he does have that 1 RBI. And there's a first pitch breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yanagamachi had himself arguably the best season of his career this year, as he swings through a fastball, and the count now goes to even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Lefty Takahashi working into the windup, and he kicks and delivers. Fastball catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. It looks like the forecast for tomorrow in Osaka, originally the Long Ranger was showing rain. Today was showing showers. Tonight is clear. It looks like everything has been pushed to Friday. And there's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and Yanagamachi is in the books. He's gone for out number 3, and that's going to do it for the Hawks here in the top of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board as they go in order. You a score through a half inning. The Hawks, nothing, and the Tigers coming to bat. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the call at the bottom of the first inning in just a couple of moments right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend God is Great in the house tonight. Titus, glad you could make it in. I just was saying earlier to the viewers, I believe this one is on Nippon television tonight. Maybe you can confirm that for us. We've had games on Fuji TV as well as TBS. And I do believe the game tomorrow goes back to TBS, if I'm not mistaken. So we appreciate you for jumping in here with us tonight for all the action here. Coming to bat for the Tigers in their half of the first inning, it'll be Koji Chikamoto, Takuma Nakano, and Shota Morishita, as Atsu has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway. Chikamoto 4 for 13 so far, no homers and no RBIs in the Japan series, and the first pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count is quickly 0-1 to Chikamoto. So starts the same way it started for Yanagita in the top of the first. So no balls and one strike as the right-hander works to the set and delivers. There's a slow breaking ball swung on, and this is lifted foul over the third base dugout. The count is now 0-2 to Chikamoto. So correct. Fuji tonight, tomorrow TBS. And then should it go beyond that, we'll have to figure it out, as it is for game 6 and 7. So the right-hander works himself to the belt, and here comes the pitch. Breaking ball down, and the count goes to 1-2. So ball and 2 strikes to Chikamoto. We were talking at the top of the stream tonight about how poor both of these teams are in the bottom third of the batting order. I think that could be where this series could be determined, if they can get something going there. There's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Chikamoto stood there like the house by the side of the road. He couldn't believe it was a called strike, but he's gone for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the second baseman in Takuma Nakano. Well, for Nakano, he is 3 for 12 in the Japan series. No homers and no RBIs. He has been a steady fixture at second base. Tigers have played some pretty good defense so far. There's a first pitch breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Nakano. Batting from the left side against the right-handed throwing Atsu. He kicks and delivers. There's another breaking ball swung on. It is grounded on one hop, taken by Makihara. He side slings it to first, and that's going to retire Nakano on a ground out, 4-3. So 2 gone here in the bottom of the first inning, and that'll bring up the right fielder in Shota Morishita. I was talking earlier a little bit about the potential for a tie. It would be kind of cool to see this go to an 8th game. It's been a few years since that has happened. But certainly if they could maybe get themselves a tie here in one of these games. It's the race to the first team to get 4 wins. They do have 12-inning ties, but once you get to the 8th game, or maybe it's the 9th game that they no longer have the tie, it just goes on, as they did with the Dodgers and the Blue Jays a couple of nights ago. That breaking ball misses up to Morishita, and the count is 1-0. Morishita 2 for 11 in the tournament. No homers, or I'd say tournament in the Japan series. No homers and 1 RBI. I guess it is a tournament to some degree. Best of 7 series. That fastball misses inside, and it backs Morishita off the plate, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes it is. Wind is blowing out, or I should say blowing out this evening. Last night it was going from right to left field, but today, as there's a fastball swung on, speaking of blowing out, this ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving over and making the catch is going to be Yanagita, as he was able to call off the center fielder. Interesting there that where he was positioned. Morishita is going to be gone, and that is going to do it here for out number 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Your score, as we are now through 1 completed, is the Hawks nothing and the Tigers nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a couple moments. Time for me to go get my tea fired up. It's going to be a long one here tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come for the bat for the Hawks here in inning number 2. It'll be Yamakawa, Kurihara, and Nomura, as they will be facing the left-hander Haruto Takahashi here for inning number 2. Yamakawa has had himself a decent series so far. He did not get the start in game 1, which was interesting. Came on as a pinch hitter and drew a walk. He is 3 for 6 in the series with a couple of homers and 6 runs batted in. Batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Takahashi, as he kicks and delivers. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yamakawa, the big fella, even in the series against the Fighters, he was dropped down in the batting order. Wasn't swinging a good stick, but now he is back in that familiar 4 spot. Fastball catches the inside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2. Yamakawa didn't like the call as he looked back at the home plate umpire. So no balls and 2 strikes. As the lefty kicks and fires, there's a fastball swung on, and this ball is lifted foul into the seats down the right field line, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. I have to tell you, I'm not a particular fan of the graphics that Fuji gives you, or I should say the Nippon TV gives you. Fuji a little different. As the lefty delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This is belted into deep center field. Moving back onto the warning track is Chikamoto. He's looking up, and it's gone. A home run. The 3rd of the Japan series and the 3rd in as many games for Hotaka Yamakawa, and he has opened up the scoring here for the Hawks in inning number 2. A solo shot to straightaway center field, reminiscent of his home run that he hit last night here. The wind is blowing straight out. So Yamakawa flexing his muscles here to give the Hawks a early 1-0 lead. That'll bring up Ryoya Kurihara to the plate. We were talking about it earlier in the pregame, and we said so far in the series, the team that scores first has gone on to lose every single game so far of the Japan series this year. So we'll see if this is going to bode well or not for the Hawks. As the first pitch from the lefty is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Kurihara. Kurihara 2 for 12 in the Japan series, no homers and 1 RBI. Batting from the left side against the lefty, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lined down the left field line, but it's going to slice into the seats foul. And the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Last night they had the umpire cam. The home plate umpire was wearing the camera, but he didn't wear it till late in the game. Tonight he's got it on the mask in inning number 1 as the fastball misses up and away and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Early 1-0 lead here for the Hawks. As we are in the second inning, I've got to change my piece here as there's a ball that's grounded foul over on the first base side, and the count remains at 1-2. A little slow on my banners, but we'll try to keep you up to date as much as I possibly can here in this one. So here comes the 1-2 pitch again to Kurihara as Takahashi kicks and delivers. And breaking ball misses up and in, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Early 1-0 lead here for the Hawks on the homer by Yamakawa. You have to start to wonder when the Tigers' power production is going to start to get rolling. As there's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count now runs full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lots of support for the Fukuoka faithful as they are in the outfield here tonight. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there is a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Kurihara is in the books for the first out of inning number 2. That's the second strikeout recorded by Takahashi, and that'll bring up the shortstop in Isami Nomura. Well, for Nomura, he's getting the start in tonight's ball game. He is 0 for 4 in the Japan series. He had himself a decent season this year. He had 271 in the season. He had a couple of home runs against the Fighters in the Climax series. As the lefty Takahashi delivers, there is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul. That's behind home plate. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. As a reminder, we'll be back on again tomorrow, so hopefully you guys can be there for that one, as that is going to be game 5 of the series. Game 4 is tonight, obviously. Fastball misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. They were laughing as the Blue Jays and the Dodgers had even their series tonight. Blue Jays knocked off the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani. I believe it was 6-2 was the final there. Fastball swung on and missed, and the Nomura's in the hole at 1-2. They were laughing, and they said it was actually really game 5 of the series based on the 18-inning marathon the night before. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the lefty Takahashi rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. He just overpowered Nomura. He's down on strikes for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to the second baseman in Taisi Makihara. Well, for Makihara, looks like he's finally getting off the schneid a little bit. 3 for 11 now in the series. No homers and no RBIs. He really struggled in the Climax series. Didn't get his hits until the final game. Been talking about this each night. The Pacific League batting champion swings at a breaking ball and misses, and the count's 0-1. Had himself arguably one of the better years of his career as he had 304. As he bats from the left side against the left-handed throwing Takahashi, who delivers a breaking ball that swung on. It's going to be lined into the seats foul down the left field line, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes to Makihara. But since he's started the playoffs here for the Hawks, he has struggled, and he finds himself hitting right near the bottom of the batting order. In the games in Fukuoka, he was holding down the 9 spot. There's a fastball swung on. He slaps it over to third. Sato fields it. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. But the Hawks get on the board here early on a home run by Hotaka Yamakawa, his 3rd of the series, to give Fukuoka a 1-0 lead. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. Moving to the bottom of the 2nd inning, your score is the Hawks 1 and the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the order coming to bat for the Tigers. It'll be Sato Oyama and Maegawa, who will be facing the right-hander Ryosuke Atsu, who will come out with a 1-0 lead early here in the 1st inning. Sato in the series, 4 for 11, no homers and 3 runs batted in as he is ready to stride to the plate. Fell a little bit behind here. We didn't give you the defensive alignment for either of the clubs in the first couple innings, so we'll share that with you now. From left to right field for the Hawks, it is Yanagita in left, Shudo in center, and Yanagamachi is in right. Around the horn from first to third, Yamakawa at first, Makihara at second. It is Nomura at short, and at third, Kurihara with the battery of Atsu and Omino. Usually try to get that off in the first or the second innings, and, well, we fumbled the ball, so we'll try to give it the Tigers in their defensive half of the third. Here comes the first pitch from Atsu. It's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted up down the left field line. Giving chase is Nomura, and he slides, and he makes an over-the-shoulder catch on the warning track. What a play there by Nomura. Yanagita had to come a long way, but Nomura able to cover the ground and making another sliding shot. That's back-to-back nights where the shortstops of the Hawks have made brilliant plays. Last night, it was Kenta Emamiya with an over-the-shoulder catch. And tonight, it is the shortstop Nomura who does the same. So 1 pitch and 1 away here in the second inning, and that's going to bring Yusuke Oyama to the plate. Oyama 0 for 11 in the series, looking for his first hit. As the first pitch is on the way, it is a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is 1-0. This is another factor here that hitting has been at a premium for the certain players in the Tigers. There's a changeup swung on, and there you go. We'll speak it into existence. It's a ground ball that gets past the glove of the third baseman, through the 6 hole, and Oyama has his first hit of the series. A single to left field, and that is going to bring up the left fielder in Yukio Maegawa. Well, for Maegawa, he's getting the start in left field tonight. We had talked about this ad nauseum before the game. It was Kairi Shimida who got the start in game one for the Tigers in the second game of the series. And again, it was Shimida. And then in game three, they decided to go with a different look. It was Hiroshi Toyota. Then they brought in Kumagai, and then it just carried on. It ended up being Kanami, who ended up coming in late, as there's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. We're talking a couple of years ago when the Tigers were in the Japan series. They had Sheldon Noisy holding it down in left field, and they really haven't replaced him or his production at that position per se. As the right-hander Otsu works himself to the set, here comes the 1-0 to Maegawa. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, lifted into left field. Moving back on it is Yanagita. He backpedals, and then he catches it in front of the warning track. And retreating back to first is going to be Oyama. So Maegawa gone for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher in Seishiro Sakamoto. Well, for Sakamoto, he is 1 for 9 in the series, a single in 9 trips. And we had talked also ad nauseum about the bottom three in the batting order for both of these clubs. Tigers, 2 for 30 in the first 3 games of the series. Now, mind you, the pitchers do hit, but that is only in the third game so far that the pitchers have added into the data. So nobody here really doing anything at the bottom of the order for the Tigers. And I think if one of these teams can get hot and turn the batting order over for the top, could be difference makers in the game. So here comes the first offering to Sakamoto. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and a strike. Not sure who the starters will be tomorrow night. Normally they post them up shortly after the game, and if we were able to see that, or maybe after the 7th inning, sometimes that's what they do with the Yomiuri Giants. They always make an announcement during the game. So we'll try to see if they have mentioned anything beforehand. There was a breaking ball missing down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryuhei Obata waiting his turn on deck. Right-hander Otsu getting his sign from the catcher Imino. As he works himself to the belt. He checks the runner. And now he kicks and delivers. There is a changeup that floats outside for a ball, and the count goes to 2-1. Otsu can really take something off of the pitch. It's a pitchfork change more than anything else. Not a circle change. That one there has a bit of a hump in it when he throws it. Doesn't have a whole lot of rotation either. As the 2-1 pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. Again, the right-hander ready to go back to work. 3 balls and 1 strike, keeping our eye on Oyama. Wonder if they will at some point put him in motion. Definitely on 3-2 he would be. See if the Tigers like to run early on. Here comes the pitch to Sakamoto. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sakamoto with that slightly open stance. His back foot is almost up on the line. Has a bit of a narrow stance in his piece here. And now the offering instead, Otsu steps off and feigns a throw to first base. Getting back easily is the runner. He will be in motion as soon as he delivers to the plate. So the 3-2 pitch ready to come as the right-hander works set. And now the pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away. It's going to be ball 4. And Sakamoto is going to be aboard with a 2-out walk. That's going to put runners at first and second. It'll bring Ryuhei Obata to the plate. Well, for Obata, he is 1 for 9 in the series. No homers and no RBIs. Both he and Sakamoto have accounted for those 2 hits at the bottom of the order. And certainly if you're not getting the ball in play, and the old saying, a walk is just as good as a hit, I'll take that from the bottom part of the order as well. So runners at first and second here. 2 gone. As Obata batting from the left side against Atsu. And here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on, chops softly to the right side. Fielded by Atsu, and he's going to take it himself all the way to the bag. That's going to be a ground out to 1 for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Tigers. Well, they threaten, but they don't score. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. We are now through 2 complete at the Koshin in Osaka. Your score is the Hawks 1 and the Tigers no score. Stick around. Top of the 3rd inning is just coming up in just a couple moments right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom half of inning number 3, and coming to bat will be Umino, Atsu, and the top of the order, Yanagita, as they will be facing Takahashi here to begin the next half inning. So it is the Tigers who are at a 1-0 deficit. Oyama with that hit in the last inning finally gets off the schneid. That might be a good sign for him. It wasn't exactly a great base hit, but at this point in time, anything will do, as he has now officially got himself going here in the series. It'll be Umino to come to bat here as the left-hander is ready to get going as the first pitch is on the way. And it is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. 29 pitches through 2 innings for Takahashi as the lefty rocks and delivers. And there is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Moving over to his right and underneath it to make the catch is Chikamoto. And that is going to retire Umino for the first out of the inning. So 1 away, and that'll bring up the pitcher in Ryosuke Atsu. As we mentioned, we didn't get the Tiger defense for you in the early part of the inning. So from left to right field, it is Maegawa in left, Chikamoto in center, Morishida in right. Around the horn from first to third, Oyama at first, Nakano at second. Obata is at short with the third baseman Sato in the battery of Takahashi and Sakamoto. And there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1 to Atsu. Atsu batting from the left side here against the lefty. Swings and he dribbles one softly over to short. Fielded by Obata. Oh boy, he gets down the line pretty good. And it's going to be an infield single here for Atsu. He ran way better than I thought as the shortstop. Obata sat back on the ball, fielded it, fired it over to first, and Atsu, running hard down the line, has himself an infield single. How about those apples? And so there you go. He is aboard with a 1-out single. And that is going to bring up the top of the order in Yuki Yanagita. Well, if something happens here and Atsu ends up coming around and scoring a run, boy, oh boy, you can put this as a turning point there with a ground ball in the infield. And I miss these days in Major League Baseball. Here's the opportunity right now as time is there. Atsu's getting the jacket to run with as the pitchers get to put the jacket on to stay warm. And he has got that here for sure. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that is swung through and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yanagita. Country music number 1 is in the house tonight, and we're glad you can make it here. And hopefully you'll be with us for the rest of the series. Yuki Yanagita in the hole at no balls and 1 strike as the lefty Takahashi gets the sign from Sakamoto. Lefty checks the runner over at first. Pitch on the way, fastball misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. Those were the days when pitchers used to run. Always good fun to see that. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Yanagita, batting from the left side here against the left-handed throwing Takahashi. 1-1 on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. Count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. This might be a fixture tonight, the umpire cam. As we mentioned, the umpires in the series weren't really wearing it for the duration. They might have had it for an inning or so. So far, the home plate umpire here tonight getting a neck workout, as he has had it for each and every inning so far, as the lefty Takahashi holds set, now delivers. Fastball comes inside, and he has hit Yanagita in the elbow area. Oh, he's in a whole host of pain. And he is just going to need a moment here. And you can pretty much figure they're going to go down and have a look. Doesn't look like they got him in the elbow guard. It looks like it got him on the... He wears the elbow guard on the right arm. But it looks like it got him on the left forearm. Very interesting. We're going to have a injury timeout here, as they like to do in the Japanese league. They're going to take him down into the tunnel and examine him. We'll have a look here. You can already see that there's some swelling going on there on that forearm. GL in the house today says, another postseason baseball Equinox day. Watched the World Series game, napped, and now streaming Game 4 of the Japan Series. And we were glad you could do it here. And Game 3 of the Korean Series. I think that's the LG Twins and the Hanwha Eagles. Haven't really looked in on that. I do know that the series, and boy, did Yanagita really take that one flush. I know that the Monkeys in the Chinese Professional League took care of the China Trust Brothers in the Taiwanese League. I think it was a 4 straight victory win. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that the Monkeys are from Taeyuan. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go back and take a look at that. I saw the Monkeys play a couple of times this year live. Always good fun to see international baseball. So a doubleheader here. We've got the injury timeout. As we said, Yanagita down. I would think Yanagita is going to be coming back out at some point. They probably have to shoot him for him not to be available. They probably take and give him the magic spray. And sure enough, there he is. But not only is he coming out, they've got a compression band on his forearm, probably to help keep the swelling down, as it did look like when he was coming off that there was some immediate swelling. So he is the runner at first base, and it's going to bring Yukio Shuda to the plate with 1 gone and runners at first and second. So Shudo is officially 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to short his first time up, 7 for 13 in the series. He's got an opportunity here to be able to do some damage. The runner at second is the pitcher Atsu, and the pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1 to Shudo. Top of the third inning, Hawks batting here, trying to extend their lead. They got their only run of the ball game. A leadoff home run in the second inning by Hotaka Yamakawa. Takahashi checks the runner, now delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's chopped over to the right side of the infield. Oyama goes to second for the fielder's choice. It's going to retire Yanagita. He's going to go in the books 3-6 on the putout for the second out of the inning. Safe over at third is Atsu. And safe at first on the fielder's choice is Shudo. They had no chance at getting him. And that is going to bring up the right fielder in Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Interesting tonight, not only do they have the home plate umpire with a helmet cam or a camera, also looks like the third base umpire and even the second base umpire have these cameras as well attached to their hats. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that or not. I guess they want you to see the umpire camera. Certainly don't want the live look of it. This may be something that Nippon Television is wanting to do because we really haven't seen a whole lot of that in the other games other than the occasional time of the plate umpire. So here comes the first offering to Yanagamachi as it's on its way. It's a fastball that misses outside for a ball. Count is 1-0. Yanagamachi struck out his first time up. 2 for 11 in the series. And Sakamoto, not sure what was up there. Sakamoto had walked to the front of the plate. There was some communication to his pitcher. I do think that maybe he was crossed up just the way that he received that. So 1 ball and no strikes to Yanagamachi as the lefty leans in and he gets the sign from his catcher. Shudo, the runner at first. Got to keep an eye on Shudo as they throw over to first base, and getting back easily is the runner. Sam in the house says, which starting pitcher has been better this season? Personally speaking, I think Takahashi has had the better year. Ryosuke Atsu, I believe he's only in his second or his third season in the NPB. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 2-0. So that would be my estimation. Would be that the left-hander for the Tigers is certainly better than Atsu. But it's just my take. And now the catcher Sakamoto has called time. He's gone out to talk to his pitcher. As I said, they got to get on the same page here. It looked like that they were a little bit confused as far as what was going on. Just going back to the question that Sam had asked, Atsu on the season was 6-2 in 12 games. Came out of the bullpen a couple of years ago. Last year, he was moved into the starting rotation. Takahashi this year was 3-1. He only had 8 appearances. So we're ready to resume the action as it's 2 balls and no strikes. Takahashi had a pretty good playoff. Takahashi to me, he was the second pick in the 2017 draft. As now he steps off the backside of the rubber. I don't know what's going on over here. They've got the catcher and the pitcher. They're not on the same page. Yanagamachi stepping in and out of the batter's box. Pitcher stepping on and off the rubber. And we wait. So here comes the 2-0 pitch as the lefty delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line. This could be trouble if it stays fair. And this ball is going to slice, just foul to the left of the foul pole. I don't know if they have a special name for the foul pole in left field, but the Hawks manager wants to have a look at this. Oh, boy. I think they're going to go upstairs. Yep, and they do want to go upstairs. They want to go have a look at this one. That ball there, when you think of the Fenway Park in Boston, you think of the pesky pole in right field and how short it is. Well, this ball off the bat of Yanagamachi was slicing down the left field line. It looked like it was going to be trouble. And so sure enough, they want to go underneath and have a look at this. Umpires are going to get together. I don't understand this. You don't need to have 5 umpires go down the tunnel or 6 umpires to go have a look at it. You just need the guy who made the call and the home plate umpire. It looks like they got the whole crew going off the field except for one umpire. So Yanagamachi, we're going to get a look at the replay ourselves. One of the things that you would look for is if you, depending on the home plate angle, you would see if the ball was able, or if you lose sight of it around the foul pole. I think that's going to be a foul ball. I don't think that will be a fair ball. I think that ball, yeah, you lose sight of it around the foul pole. That's a foul ball on the replay, and not by much. They give an angle that shoots from sort of right field over to the left field foul pole, and you can see that the ball goes behind the pole, which is in foul territory. That's coming back. And if it's not coming back, there needs to be an investigation into why. So as they slow it down, you lose sight of the ball behind the pole. Definitely a foul ball, and it'll be 2-1 on Yanagamachi. So we wait for the umpires. I don't think this should take very long. I do believe that they'll be coming out. The wind has changed, though. Originally, it was blowing out the straightaway center field when Hotaka Yamakawa hit the home run. Now it's blowing out to right field, or blowing from left to right field. And here come the umpires. And the decision about to be made, and it is a foul ball, just as we suggested. And so the Hawks have lost their challenge. I guess it was worth taking a challenge anyways. They don't get the benefit of looking at a replay quickly like in Major League Baseball. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Yanagamachi. My big problem still with this is that the pitcher has had to wait. He might have thrown a couple of practice or a couple of tune-up tosses while he waited. But he has to wait for the decision. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. If anything, make him think about it. So now Takahashi ready to go as the batter Yanagamachi steps in. On the 2-1 pitch forthcoming. As the lefty delivers, it is a fastball that misses up and in. He missed his spot there completely. The catcher, Sakamoto, was set up outside. The pitch missed up and in. And looming on deck is Hotaka Yamakawa. It's not the guy you want to face in this situation. So 3 balls and 1 strike. This game could get out of hand in a hurry. With a couple of big blasts here by the Hawks. Here comes the 3-1 offering as the lefty holds set. Now delivers. Fastball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 3-2 on Yanagamachi. Well, Shudo, who's the runner at first, he's going to be on the move here as soon as the pitcher commits to the plate. As Yanagamachi looks to try to put the ball in play here at 3-2. Lefty works himself to the set. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. And Takahashi gets himself out of a jam, and they were able to wiggle out of it here in the inning are the Tigers. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left stranded aboard. We are through 2.5 innings. It is the Hawks 1 and the Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the call the bottom of the 3rd inning. In just a couple moments, we appreciate you guys for hanging out here with us on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. It is Hawks and Tigers Japan Series. More when we return right after this. Welcome back, everybody. The bottom of the third inning is upon us. It'll be the pitcher, then the top of the order, Chikamoto and Nakano. So Haruno Takahashi to lead it off here against his counterpart, Atsu, who delivers a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. 1 for 13 on the season was the left-handed hitting Takahashi as he swings through a fastball, and it's now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Atsu again working himself to the belt as he kicks and delivers. There's a changeup, waved at and missed. And Takahashi has been made quick work of here in the third inning. On 3 pitches, he's gone for out number 1. That is the second strikeout recorded by Atsu tonight. It'll bring up the top of the order in Koji Chikamoto. Well, for Chikamoto, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out to begin the ball game. 4 for 14 in the Japan series. As he steps up here from the left side against the right-handed throwing Atsu, who works himself to the belt. And now the pitch on the way is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Chikamoto batting from that left side. He's got a really interesting way that he holds the bat. He reminds me of Julio Franco back in the day, who also spent time in Japan. As that fastball swung on and missed, and the count is 0-2. Seemed like Julio Franco pitched till he was like, or played till he was like 100 years old. Maybe not 100, but certainly in his late 40s. 0-2 on the way. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and Atsu's on a roll now. Chikamoto gone for the second out of the inning. Sam asked the question, are there any pitchers that bat well in the NPB? Yeah, there have been a few in recent years. When there was the Yuki Nishi was one of the pitchers for the Tigers. I remember him and Daichi Osera, at least in the beginning of the year, 1 year hit homers on opening day. First time, I forget how long pitchers had done that. Pitch was taken for a called strike, counts 0-1 to Nakano, but I think it was a Junya Nishi who was a pretty good hitter. In fact, to the point where they would roll out the batting lineup, he was hitting like 6th or 7th sometimes. Fastball at the knees taken for a called strike. Hey, and we're on the verge of something here. I don't want to jinx it here. So 2 strikes here. The fans of the Hawks will be cheering on this one here. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. I'll fill you in a second. On the way, it is a changeup that bounces up to the plate. We almost had ourselves an immaculate inning. The first 2 batters struck out on 3 pitches, and he got ahead 0-2 on Nakano. And he bounced that one into the dirt. Oh, boy, that would have been something. So here comes the 1-2 pitch as the right-hander works to the set, now delivers. Breaking ball misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander works to the set. Now delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses outside. Count now goes to 3-2. So from 0-2 to almost being in jeopardy of losing Nakano here. And there's a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. Oh, boy. And we got another error here to Kurihara, the third baseman of the Hawks. It's going to go E5 in the books. As Nakano is going to reach it, he knocked it down, and then he couldn't pick it up. That's the second time. Last night he made an error, as there was a ground ball moving to his left. He couldn't pull it out in time to try to get a fielder's choice. We get a look at it here. It wasn't very good technique. He stabbed at it. Wasn't moving his feet. Next thing you know, he clanked it. And Nakano is the runner over at first. That's going to bring Shota Morishita to the plate. Morishita 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to left field his first time up. 2 for 12 in the Japan series. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. You certainly don't want to face Morishita with ducks on the pond. The wind has died down. When Yamakawa was batting, it was blowing the straightaway center field. Now the flags are almost hardly moving at all as the right-hander works himself into the set position. Here comes the pitch. They throw over to first, and diving back in time is the runner Nakano. So Nakano, the runner at first, on the benefit of the error. One ball and no strikes to Morishita. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats. Behind home plate, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander leans in, gets the sign from his catcher, and now he works himself to the belt. And the 1-1 on its way. Fastball taken for a called strike. Morishita held up on that. Count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Get a look at that pitch there. I'm not so sure that pitch was as much a strike as the home plate umpire thought it was, but I'm not the one making the call. So here comes the 1-2 offering as the right-hander works himself again to the belt. Raises to his chest, now delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined into right field for a base hit. Coming in is Yannick Gamachi. He's going to fire it in, and going all the way around to third is Nakano, and the Tigers now have something brewing here. With 2 gone in the inning, everything has all started with 2 outs after the error by the third baseman Kurihara. That's going to bring Teraki Sato to the plate. Well, for Sato tonight, he is 0 for 1. He popped out to the shortstop his first time up. Just got a look at that. And it is confirmed it was an error, as I had suggested. We do have a conference on the mound as they're out to talk about what they're going to do with Sato. They have Oyama on deck. So the umpires have come to break up the conference. Yeah, 1 pitch away from the immaculate inning, and the next thing you know is you got an error, a single, and all heck is about to break loose here as the home run leader for the Central League, and Teraki Sato hit 40 bombs in the regular season, drove in over 100 runs, steps to the plate. If you're a fan of the Tigers, you wouldn't want anybody else at the plate other than maybe Morishita, the last hitter, in this situation. Yeah, to you in the house says, come on, Tigers. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count's 1-0. And Oyama on deck, who got his first hit of the series in the last half inning. I'm worried about Atsu, though. I wonder how he's going to be able to hold up here. Second time through the order. Certainly not getting the defensive help he could have used. Here comes the pitch. Right-hander delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up into center field. Sato just got underneath it. Underneath it is the center fielder Shudo. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it as Sato is gone for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, an error, and 2 left aboard. Starting to become a trend here for the Tigers. A third of the game is in the books, and your score is the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks 1 and the Hanshin Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. I'll be back in just a couple moments. I got to go deal with an issue I got here, and we'll be right back in just a moment.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
It is 1-0 for the Hawks as we move to the top of the fourth, and we'll be back in 30 seconds with all the action after this. Welcome back, everybody. Hotaka Yamakawa to lead it off here in the fourth inning, followed by Kurihara and Nomura. Takes a first pitch fastball upstairs for a ball. One for one tonight for the big fella as he homered his third of the Japan Series. Straightaway center field his last time up as he fouls that one away, and the count goes even at 1-1. Yamakawa is getting himself on a roll. We were talking at the outset that he didn't get the start in game one. He came on as a pinch hitter, drew a walk. And now he has got a run of home runs here in the series to carry the Hawks. There's a breaking ball that he waves at and misses in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Batting from the right side, he really has his hands high. I think of Craig Counsell, the current manager of the Cubs, how he positions them, and then he gets them down into his hitting position. There's a fastball missing down, and the count goes to 2-2. Be an interesting conversation why you would start your hands that particular high. I can understand it even around the helmet level, maybe face level to some degree, but not over your head. There's a fastball right down the middle, and Yamakawa takes it for a called third strike. I'm not sure what he was looking for, but he wasn't looking for that pitch. He's in the books for out number 1, and that'll bring up the third baseman in Ryoya Kurihara. And so by my count, that is the 5th strikeout tonight for Takahashi. So Kurihara coming to the plate, 2 for 13. He has made errors on consecutive nights now defensively, and luckily for the Hawks, that one did not come back to bite them. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Chikamoto over to pick it up in right center field, fires it back in, and Kurihara is aboard with a 1-out single, and that'll bring up the shortstop in Isami Nomura. And just like that, our crowd diminished a little bit. I think everybody was in to hear if the big fella Yamakawa could do it again. All those Hawk fans flapping their wings. Well, this brings Nomura to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up, 0 for 5 in the series. As we mentioned, he had a couple of home runs against the Fighters in the Climax series. They moved around a little bit. He played short. He played third. He DH'd as they throw over to first base, and getting back in time is the runner Kurihara easily. So the lefty Takahashi getting his sign from Sakamoto as he works himself to the belt. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded down the third base line, foul. Count is 0-1 to Nomura. So no balls and 1 strike. Interesting. They must see something in him, obviously, to give the opportunity for him to play it short tonight. or maybe just the management and the brass of the Hawks has recognized that Imamiya can't be an everyday guy anymore. He has to go maybe every other. I wouldn't bat an eye that Imamiya isn't back in the lineup tomorrow night for Fukuoka. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball swung on, fouled straight back. Oh, Nomura was right on the pitch. So no balls and 2 strikes. So Nomura batting from the right side here. Runner at first, Kurihara, 1 gone in the top of the 4th inning. Game has settled in here. And the pitch from Takahashi on the way. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, Nomura waiting on the offering here from the lefty as he gets his sign from the catcher. Interesting. Got a bit of a touch system going on back there. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in. Count goes to 2-2. It's like a back foot slider almost. This is a bit of a dynasty over the last 11 years for the Fukuoka Ball Club, as they have had a number of victories. They lost last year to Yokohama, but ran off a slew of titles: 2014, 15, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And back in the Japan Series again this year, looking for another. I was commenting earlier, I said, I think the pitching will be fine, but their offense is starting to get long in the tooth. No Kensuke Kondo in the lineup tonight. I think that he will probably just serve as the DH for the games in Fukuoka. He must be hurting if they can't play him, or I wouldn't be surprised that maybe at some point he makes a DH appearance. He did appear in the games in Fukuoka, as there was a fastball swung on. This ball is hammered, and it gets through the third baseman Sato into left field. Going to have to wait to see how they score that one. Nomura hit that ball hard. It was not an easy play. We'll get a look at the replay on this one. That was a tough play. Sato needed to be able to get a glove on it and knock it down. And I hate to say it sometimes, but it does take courage when you're playing that third base position to throw your body in front of the ball. But no further damage as that ball, as it was the ball hit into the left field. We'll get an idea to see if that was ruled an error or if that was a base hit. If it was me, I probably would give him a hit on that one. It wasn't ordinary effort, I don't think, the play, but that brings Taisi Makihara to the plate with runners at first and second and 1 gone. Makihara now 3 for 12 in the Japan Series. He grounded to third his first time up. But now an opportunity here, yet again, for the Hawks to punch another run across. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Tigers have left 3 runners on base in their first 3 innings. Hawks left 2 runners on base in their first 3 innings. As Makihara waits here on the offering from Takahashi. Javier Hernandez in the house. It's Nippon Television that is broadcasting the game tonight. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to second. They go to second for 1, back to first, and that's going to be an inning-ending double play. That is going to go in the books as a 4-6-3 variety, and that is going to do it here for the Hawks in their half of inning number 3. Well, they had no runs in the inning. I don't know if it was 2 hits or if it was 1 hit. I'm not sure if we had the error. We'll have to come back on that. They only leave 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom half of the 4th inning. It is Fukuoka with a 1-0 lead. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. We appreciate you guys for being here with us on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. Just a note on the scoring, Nomura was awarded a base hit. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Oyama, Maegawa, and Sakamoto to come to bat for the Tigers. And the first pitch that was delivered to Oyama was a breaking ball missing outside for a ball. Count is 1-0. Oyama 1 for 1 tonight as he takes a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike. And the count goes even at 1-1. 1 for 12 now in the tournament as he is off the schneid. Only 2 hits tonight for the Tigers thus far. And the other hit goes to Shota Morishita. There's a fastball taken on the outside corner again for a called strike, and the count is 1-2. They are pounding the outside of the zone here to the right-handed hitting Oyama. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to third, fielded by Kurihara. He throws to first. The throw was on the infield side of first base. Yamakawa had to come off the bag to catch it, and he applied the tag to Oyama. That is going to go as a ground out. It is going to be 5-3, but Kurihara is starting to turn into a bit of a gong show at third base. The error tonight, throw there, the error last night. Definitely not showing gold glove prowess in these last couple of games. So it brings Yukio Maegawa to the plate. He is 0 for 1. He flew out to left field his first time up. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball, comes inside, and it hits him right on the elbow guard. I find it humorous. The trainer just sprints out of the dugout. Are you okay? Get out of here. I'll call for you if I need you. And he kind of whisks him away, and on his way to first he goes. Our friend Troy in the house tonight. I haven't seen you around in a bit, Troy. Glad you can make it in. Obviously a fan of the Detroit Tigers. Well, the Detroit Tigers couldn't make it this far, but the Hanshin Tigers have done it. And we're glad you could pop in, hopefully for a little bit of action this morning. I don't know if you're on your way to work, but we're glad to have you here. So runner is Maegawa at first. There's 1 gone here. It brings Seishiro Sakamoto to the plate. He walked his first time up. He's 1 for 9 in the series. Now the Tigers looking to get something going here. Is Atsu ready to deliver? Fastball misses down, and the count is 1-0. Atsu had a 1-2-3 first inning. Almost was on his way to an immaculate inning in the third. Troy says, how have we been liking the Nippon Series? Other than the clunker game in Game 2, Games 1 and Game 3 were highly entertaining. This game here itself has been settling in. Other than the home run by Yamakawa, we've had runners on the base paths. They just haven't been able to do anything with it. The Tigers have stranded 4 in their 3 innings, and the Hawks, for their worth, in 4 innings have stranded 3. So they haven't been able to punch the runs across as needed. But it has been a decent series to this part. I called the Tigers for a victory before this game started. There's a changeup swung on and missed. And the count runs even to 1-1. I do think this series would do well to be able to go back to Fukuoka for a Game 6. And honestly, even as I said the other night, I said I wouldn't be bat an eye if we saw a tie game. A 12-inning tie. It's the first one to win 4 games, and it could take you 8 games to do it. That'd be kind of cool. We haven't seen an 8-game series in a number of years. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away. The count goes to 1-2 on Sakamoto. So I think that would be a lot of fun, being able to see a little bit of that. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sakamoto. Runner at first is Maegawa. As the Tigers trying to even the score here. And usually where people start pouring in is usually in that 5th inning. That is where the over-unders start to happen. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded to second. Makihara goes to second for 1, back to first. That's going to be an inning-ending double play, and that is going to do it here for the Tigers. 4-6-3, it goes into the books. An unconventional 1-2-3 inning, but that is what it is. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 4 complete innings. Your score is the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks 1 and the Hanshin Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action right after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top half of inning number 5. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to the bat for the Hawks. And we'll be back in 30 seconds with all your action right after this timeout. Right back.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Takahashi who is on for begin his 5th inning of work. 58 pitches through 4 for the left-hander as he delivers a first pitch strike to Takashi Amino for 0-1. Amino 0 for 1 tonight, 0 for 11 in the series, as there is a fastball that misses up and the count goes to 1-1. I was reflecting last night and kind of saying, I wonder if how much the Hawks miss Takuya Kai. I know Kai had moved on as a domestic free agent to the Giants last year, as there is a fastball swung on and fouled away right into the shins of Amino, and the count goes to 1-2. Think about that as the trainer has come out, as Amino is walking around. He is wobbling here. He does wear the shin guard on the left leg. Looks like it got him in a part where he wasn't being protected. We'll take a look at the replay. It looked like it got him on the inside part of the foot. You see that type of swing, all I can say is fix your swing. Get back in the cage and work on your swing. And if you've never fouled a pitch off, if you've not played at a particular level of the game, boy, has that hurt. Especially with the speed of the game now, there's guys who've broken their legs on foul balls or broken bones in their foot. Just have to ask Tyler Austin of the Yokohama DNA Base Stars what that's all about. Certainly last year in the Japan series. And then it becomes like a magnet. You just keep hitting the ball one after another right half of the foot. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on. It's grounded, one hop over to short. Fielded by Obata. He throws to first, and Amino is going to be grounding out 6-3 for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the pitcher, Ryosuke Atsu. Well, for Atsu, he is 1 for 1 tonight. He singled to short his first time up. Pretty impressive how he got down the line. Sometimes you see pitchers when they hit the ball, you don't expect them to be running. Boy, did he get down the line in a hurry. As the lefty Takahashi delivers, there's a fastball missing down and away, and the count's 1-0. And who says pitchers aren't athletes? Sometimes there is talk about that in North America, that the pitchers really aren't athletic. Well, I just have to point to this guy. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Top of the 5th inning, 1-0 for the Hawks on the home run by Yamakawa. Pitch on the way, fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. And I would say this, that the Tigers have got to start thinking about getting a run or two across here. Fastball taken for another strike, 2-2, because if the Hawks turn it over to the back end of the bullpen, that Fuji, Matsumoto, and Sugiyama is pretty much lights out on the back end. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down, runs the count to 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And my guess is, I'm pretty sure that all would be available tonight. Maybe the only one in doubt might be Fuji. I'd have to go look at his pitch counts. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball down. It's going to be ball 4. And that is not what you want. The pitcher gets aboard again. And the thing that would drive me crazy, our friend Sam was in here listening earlier, and he asked the question. He says, are there any NPB pitchers who bat well? Well, first of all, the Central League does not use the DH. The Pacific League does. And as of 2027, both teams are going to use the DH. So one more year of the pitchers hitting. But when I talk about this, the pitcher, as he is at first base here, putting on the jacket, the thing that I find fascinating is that you've got a whole season that the pitchers for the Hawks, basically only time they came to bat was in interleague play when they were on the road. He got a hit and a walk tonight. He probably hasn't had a competitive at bat since June. Early June. If he even had at bats, I'd have to go back and look to see if he had any at bats this year for Atsu. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Yanagita. Yanagita, 0 for 1 tonight, grounded to second to begin the ball game, and then he was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. As the lefty leans in, gets the sign, works himself to the belt, and now delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. Count is 0-2 to Yanagita. It's a fastball, but it actually looked more like a cutter coming out of the hand. Had a little bit of left to right movement from Takahashi, so I don't know if I like that pitch. They delivered it, and at least the location of where it was, it started inside and it trying to cut across the plate. And I think Yanagita, that would be something that I'd be looking for. There's a ball that is chopped down the first baseline, but it is fielded by Oyama in foul territory, and that's going to keep the count at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Ball game here tonight. Top of the 5th inning, 1-0 for the Hawks. If you're just getting up in the East Coast, it is 6:30 in the East, 3:30 in the West Coast. If you are up and joining us, North America, we're glad you guys could pop in here to be a part of it with us. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. We'll be back on the airwaves again tomorrow night. Hopefully you can join us again for yet another one, as tomorrow will be Game 5 of the series. There is action in the Tiger bullpen. They have both a right-hander and a left-hander up and throwing. So we'll have to see what that is. This could be the end of the starter. Takahashi is slated to come up second in the bottom of the inning. As the pitch is on the way, there is a fastball that misses outside, and the count now 2-2 to Yanagita. He's at 73 pitches now, is the left-hander. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 gone here in the 5th. Runner at first is the pitcher, Atsu. As Takahashi gets his sign from Sakamoto, he works himself to the belt. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, lined off the glove of Sato and into left field. That's going to be a base hit for Yanagita. Sato crawled up the ladder and just couldn't quite get it. Yanagita is aboard. That's going to put runners at first and second. As stopping at second is Atsu. And it's going to bring the center fielder in Yukio Shudo to the plate, and it's going to bring the pitching coach to the mound to have a word with his left-hander here. One would have to think that he's probably got 2 more hitters left in this game. You got Shudo and Yanagamachi, both lefties, and then you got Yamakawa in the 4 spot. So Shudo 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to short, and he has bounced into a fielder's choice, and I wouldn't bat an eye that maybe he tries to lay one down, not just for a sacrifice, but for a base hit here. Would be right up his alley. They're going to have to play tight on the corners because you never know what he can do. The all-dirt infield at the Koshin Stadium, I'm fascinated by it. Curious year to year defensively how that does affect the metrics for the Tigers or a team like the Tigers, and then how it plays to their favor when opposition comes in. Obviously, the Hawks made 2 errors last night. They made another one tonight so far. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, line right off the pitcher. It trickles toward first, and they throw to second, and it's not going to be in time. Oh, boy. So Shudo hits the ball right off the pitcher. The ball trickled toward the first baseline. As it came over to the first baseline, Oyama went to field it. Then they tried to throw to second to get Yanagita, and they get nobody. It's going to be an infield single off the bat of Shudo. It's going to load the bases. We'll get a look at the replay on this one here. Ball was absolutely scorched. He got his glove up, and it looks like it hit him in the forearm of the pitching arm. We'll get a look at the replay on another angle. Yeah, on the left elbow. So I don't want to say much yet because they usually take them down the tunnel, but the pitcher's coming off the field here. Sometimes they go and take them for an examination before they do anything else. And we're going to wait to see exactly what is happening here, but this will definitely be able to kill the momentum here. But boy, he took that one flush right on the throwing arm elbow, on the outside of the arm. So that is where we stand right now. So we've got bases loaded. We're going to take a little time out here for this injury break. We'll be back in 30 seconds with all the action here for you. We'll keep you entertained with our friend Steve Rademacher, who you haven't heard from tonight. So why not right now?
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. We're still waiting to see if the pitcher is going to be finished for the night or if they are going to carry on here, as we have a whole host of things that are going on as we are checking in on a couple of things. The bases are loaded. The runner at third is Atsu. The runner at second, Yanagita. Shudo is the runner at first. There's only 1 gone here in the top of the 5th inning. As the Tigers have action in their pen, they have a right-hander who is throwing in a hurry. That looks like it is number 36. So by our count, number 36 for the Tigers is Seishu Hatake. I don't know if that would be him who would be coming in or not, as they have to wait here on the lefties' health before this one gets resumed. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of being able to go down. They are talking here on the phone, is the pitching coach Ando. And so Ando is going to go down, and I guess they're going to check on their pitcher here first before they make a decision. But again, we're continuing to wait, as we don't have any other information other than what we are giving you here. But again, the pitcher Takahashi drilled in the throwing side elbow on a comebacker off the bat of Shudo. That was Shudo's 8th hit of the postseason. He's now 8 for 15 at the plate. It looks like Ando is heading down, and we're going to take another timeout here as both the teams here, the Tigers, have a meeting on the mound, and it looks like that could be the end of the night, as Fujikawa, the manager, who has come out for the Tigers, and he has talked to the home plate umpire. That more than likely means that is going to be the end of the night for Takahashi. Let's see what happens here when we come back. We'll be right back. It is a 1-0 lead for the Hawks. Bases are loaded. Top of the 5th, one gone. And we've got ourselves a pitching change.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you going to throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in front row. Blah.
Well, that is our friend Steve Rademacher, and we'll set the table for you here in the top of the 5th inning. After the catcher Takashi Umino grounded out to begin the inning, the pitcher Ryosuke Atsu was walked, and then Yuki Yanagita singled, and then it was Yukio Shudo singling off the pitcher Takahashi as he hit a line ball off the left forearm of the pitcher right by the elbow. As it trickled over toward first base, Oyama had picked it up and threw to second to try to get Yanagita, but he not in time. That loaded the bases, and that is where we are at here as we are waiting on the confirmation of a pitching change. The Tigers, in their bullpen, they did have up and throwing. It was Seishu Hatake, and we're waiting to see if he is the one that is going to be coming in here to pitch. And that's exactly who it is. So they are making the change. It is going to be a right-hander coming in now for the Tigers, the second pitcher used tonight, as this will be number 36, Seishu Hatake, on in relief. So he is completing his tune-up tosses, and he'll be facing the left-handed hitting Tetsuro Yanagamachi. And he is going to be followed by Hotaka Yamakawa. So we're waiting here to see how this is, but just a little bit of unluck here for the Tigers so far, certainly in this inning. All the way around, even in that play, you think about it, the single off the glove of Sato as he leapt in the air trying to get it from Yanagita to get a base hit, and then that hit by Shudo. So some pretty lucky pieces. I guess they're going to give the pitcher the rest of the time to be able to warm up. Normally it's 8 preparatory pitches, but because he's had to hurry up to get himself going, Hatake here is given that little extra reprieve now that he's on the mound due to the injury to Takahashi. He says he needs a couple of more and he'll be ready to go. So if you've just joined us in the stream, it is 1-0 for the Hawks. Bases are loaded. As we said, the runner at third is Atsu. The runner at second, Yanagita. Runner at first, Shudo. Yanagamachi stepping to the plate with the pitcher Hatake in to relieve Takahashi, who has left via the line drive off his pitching arm. So that is the table. That is how it's set. And now we're ready to resume the action as the right-hander Hatake. The infield is in for the Tigers. The corners are maybe about halfway. The middle infield is halfway. The corners are in. Yanagamachi 2 for 12 in the Japan series. 0 for 2 tonight, has struck out both times he's come to the plate. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field. This ball could be trouble. Nope, making the catch is the left fielder, Maegawa. Tagging at third and coming home is the pitcher, Atsu. And he has scored the second run of the game. It's going to be a sacrifice fly off the bat of Yanagamachi. He gets an RBI. And the Hawks have now doubled their lead to 2-0. And Fukuoka fans in the stands are loving it now as they have a 2-0 lead, and the big fella, Hotaka Yamakawa, striding to the plate. Well, for Yamakawa tonight, he got the first run of the game on the board as he homered to lead off the second inning. So runners are at first and second, 2 gone here, and Yamakawa at the plate. And Hatake is entrusted in a tough situation. There is a split finger down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they did say that he went. Very interesting. They didn't give us the token look over at the first base umpire. No balls and 1 strike to Yamakawa. So a little home call there. I have to say, I'm not sure I was convinced at it on the regular speed. There's a fastball under the hands taken for a called strike, and now the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Yamakawa. Yamakawa's 4 for 8 in the series, 3 home runs. And he has showed up in a big way here for Fukuoka, the longtime Saitama Cebu Lion. As the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. There's a breaking ball that just misses outside. Oh boy, that was a good pitch. Just not good enough according to the home plate umpire. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yamakawa. Atsu now up and throwing in front of the Fukuoka bullpen, or Fukuoka dugout. 2-0 lead here for the Hawks in the top of the 5th inning. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 1-2 to Yamakawa. Well, the Tigers are going to have to start looking for some instant offense. They got to find a way to get back in the game. We cited at the beginning of the game that the teams that scored first in this series have not won a game. Well, the Hawks would like to buck that trend tonight. As here comes the 1-2 pitch to Yamakawa. Right-hander Hatake delivers. Fastball misses down. It bounces up to the plate. That was a good stop by the catcher Sakamoto. Count now goes to 2-2. This is a big at bat right here. They do have an open base. Ryoya Kurihara is waiting his turn on deck. It's not like he's been ripping the cover off the ball, but certainly you don't want to load the bases with another potential strong hitter for the Hawks coming up. As the right-hander holds set, now delivers. Breaking ball swung on and fouled straight back, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yamakawa. As a reminder, at the end of the bottom of the 5th, they do take a 5-minute break. We like to call it our Japanese halftime, but in other parts of the world, they like to refer to it maybe as a mid-game smoke break. Sometimes the players like to have their puff, as do the umpires. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, and another one fouled straight back, and this is now turning into a battle with Yamakawa. 7 pitches here to the big fella in the at-bat. As the wind is changed direction again. When he was up the first time, when he homered in the second, it was blowing straight out. Now it's blowing more from left to right. Our friend Demon Slayer in the house. Always great to see him. Haven't seen him in a while. And the pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 3-2 to Yamakawa. Oh, this sets up a real interesting situation. You've got 3 balls and 2 strikes. The runners are going to be on the move. Yanagita with speed at second, maybe not the speed he once had. Then you've got Shuto, the runner, at first. He's got some speed. Base hit here definitely is going to get one in, but possibly could score Shuto all the way from first. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. 9th pitch of the bat coming up to Yamakawa. Checks the runners. They're on the move. There's a breaking ball, misses up and away. It's going to be ball 4. And Yamakawa is going to walk to load the bases. So maybe not the worst thing, as it is going to bring Ryoya Kurihara to the plate. Demon Slayer says, how about that Dodgers 18-inning game, as the pitching coach Ando heads out to the mound as the entire infield is in to have a discussion. Yeah, that game the other night was exhausting, and it's amazing that the Blue Jays, well, I tip your hat to the Jays that they were able to come back and even the series last night, and they did it against Shohei Ohtani. So that series will be at least going back to Toronto for a 6th game, so very interesting, and I'm sure our friend Demon Slayer, if I'm not mistaken, is in the Bay Area. And I don't know if he is as much a Dodger fan as a Dodger hater. There's kind of like 2 people who like, there's 2 different people who like the Yankees, those who love them and those who hate them. Or 2 types of fans of the Yankees. Same could be said about the Dodgers. Well, here we go. As the conference is over, Kurihara 1 for 2 tonight, a single and 2 trips. He's also struck out, but that was against the starter, Takahashi. Hatake works himself to the belt. Here comes the offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. Oh, I think Kurihara wants that one back. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, Demon Slayer says he hates the Dodgers, giant fan, and probably a Blue Jay fan for this series. So no balls and 1 strike to Kurihara. As the right-hander works himself to the belt. And here comes the pitch. It is a changeup taken for a called strike. Oh, 0-2 it is to Kurihara. Our friend Demon Slayer said that Ohtani would have went to San Francisco, but he hated the city. And unfortunately, there's a lot of, I'd say, disappointed people in general, just at the way that San Francisco has, the city itself has kind of gone, which we can get into on another social topic. We'll have to create another channel for that. So here comes the 0-2 pitch on its way. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes to 1-2 on Kurihara. So I would think at this point, Hatake is going to offer up a steady diet of slop to the plate that Kurihara is going to have to figure out. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Right-hander getting his sign. Not a lot of people leaving their seats, but the beer girls are making their money here tonight in Osaka. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and Kurihara down on strikes. That's some clutch pitching there from the right-hander Hatake. They do get a run in the inning on the sacrifice fly by Yanagamachi. There was 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left the board. Your score, as we're now halfway through this game, it is a 2-0 lead for the Hawks. Tigers coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th. Stick around with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. And our friend Demon Slayer in the house, that makes my night. We'll be right back in a few. We got ourselves a 2-0 lead as the Hawks are ahead of the Tigers as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. And we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be coming to bat the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, and that means Obata, the pitcher's spot, and then the top of the order, Chikamoto, as the right-hander Atsu is back on to work again, and the pitch is a breaking ball that misses inside for ball. 1-0 to Obata. Obata grounded out to the pitcher his first time up, as he is 0 for 1 tonight. Right-hander Atsu works himself into the delivery, and he kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. This is lined into center field, but it is going to hang up. Oh, boy. Yukio Shoto looked like he was battling the lights, and he was able to make the catch on that one. Obata is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the pitcher's spot in the batting order, but it is going to bring up a pinch hitter here, as it is going to be Kairi Shimada, who has seen action in this series. So Shimada into pinch hit. As he steps up to the plate here, he is 2 for 7 in the series. He has been getting some time in that revolving door of left field. Takes a breaking ball up and away for ball 1, and the count is 1-0. Right-hander Atsu kicks and fires. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count runs even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Matias is in the house here. He says, aloha from Hawaii. Hey, we always like the Hawaiians. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2 on Shimada. Our friend Drew says the Blue Jays' weakness is also their bullpen. Yeah, it's kind of hard to deny that. At times they have played okay. There's a ground ball hit down the first base line. Yamakawa fields it. He's going to step on the base, and that is going to retire Shimada on a ground out to 3 for the second out of the inning. I'll bring up the top of the order in Koji Chikamoto. Well, for Chikamoto, he is 0 for 2 tonight. 4 for 15 in the series. He has struck out both times he's come to the plate. He has 1 swinging and 1 looking. As the right-hander Atsu ready to go to work here. Kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that bounces up to the plate for ball one. Count is 1-0. Demon Slayer says Dodgers are built for the playoffs. Yeah, I can't say that they're not. That's for sure. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball, misses up and away, and the count is 2-0. I kind of figured if you're going to get to the Dodgers, you got to get them in a short series. In that best-of-3 wild card, the longer the series goes on, the odds are in their favor with their pitching. There's a fastball swung on. This is going to be grounded up the middle, past the pitcher into center field, and Chikamoto's got himself a 2-out single. And that is going to bring Takumu Nakano to the plate. So keep your eye on Chikamoto. He is the stolen base leader in the Central League. In the lineup tonight, the Tigers have stolen 5 bases with the players that they've rolled out in the lineup this evening. Chikamoto has one of them. I'd bet dollars to donuts. He's got to be going on either the first or the second pitch here. And the pitch on the way, breaking ball catches the inside corner. That would have been a great pitch to run on. Count is 0-1 to Nakano. Whew. And you got to challenge Amino's arm, and you got to challenge Atsu here. Atsu's fairly quick to the plate. So he has to control the running game, but the catcher here, Amino, hasn't thrown out anybody yet. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's lined into left center field, moving over to his right, and making the catch is Shuto. And that is going to retire Nakano for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here in the 5th inning. As the Tigers go quietly. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. We're now halfway through this one. It is the Hawks with a 2-0 lead. We're going to take our timeout because, as we like to say, it is the Japanese halftime. Our friend Solario, who is here, says the throwback Hanshin offense here the last couple of days. And let's see if they can bring Chikamoto home. Well, I think we have the answer to that. Not at the moment. All right, everybody, you're going to put the music on loop. We'll be back in just a few for the top of the 6th. Hang with us. We'll be back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're just waiting here for the resumption of the ball game as they do take that 5-minute break on the in-between. I was just taking a peek at the pitch count last night for some of the top relievers for the Fukuoka Ball Club. Fuji last night faced 4 batters in the game. And by my counts, looked like he had delivered about 24 or 25 pitches. At least on my end, he hit things 6, 12, 16, and 24 pitches for Fuji last night. Matsumoto had come in. He was a little bit more efficient. 12 pitches for him, so I'm sure he'll be fresh as a daisy for tonight. And then Sugiyama pitched the 9th. And by my counts, that looks like he was at 15, 16, 19 pitches. So I'm sure he could come back again tonight. The only one that I would question would be, is Fuji available for tonight? 24 pitches. It's kind of a borderline piece. I don't know the reliever management or what they would consider. Fuji is, we commented last night, reminds me of Yuki Matsumoto, the left-handed reliever of the Padres, as he is always got himself into a bit of trouble all the time. And so not an easy way to get the outs. Well, we have a new pitcher for the Hanshin Tigers as they've gone to the bullpen. It is going to be a left-hander. This is going to be Kurashiki coming in. So number 47. So Takuma Kurashiki on in relief. He'll be the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Tigers in this one. And we'll see how they are able to try to keep this one close here, as the first pitch on the way to Nomura is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Nomura tonight 1 for 2, a single and 2 trips, 1 for 6 in the series. And Kurashiki rubs up the baseball. He's ready to go again. Left-hander working himself to the belt. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into a right field, coming underneath it. Plenty of room to make the catch, but battling the wind a bit is Morishita, and he's going to haul that one in. Nomura is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone here. And that'll bring up Taisi Makihara. And it's going to bring Otsu out of the dugout to start playing catch again. Interesting. They're using Majestic jackets. I like the Majestic jacket. I got an interesting story about Majestic. I'll try to share that with everybody here. As Majestic used to be a manufacturer that would do stuff for Major League Baseball. There's a fastball ticket for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Majestic, from what I understand, they used to have a contract with the MLB. I say used to. I don't know if they have anything at all with them anymore. As the Makihara tries to bunt his way on, and he bunts through the pitch, and it's 0-2. I got myself some really nice Majestic jackets for my business a couple of years ago. Top drawer stuff. And I got to tell you, the thing that I really like about the Majestic jackets, the quality, they keep you warm, they're layered, and there's a breaking ball that's fouled away, and the count goes to 0-2. Anyways, apparently during the 2020 year, which was because of the blip or the pandemic, what had ended up happening was Major League Baseball had this contract with Majestic, but then I don't know if they honored it or they walked away from it. Majestic had produced a lot of stuff getting prepared for all the teams. They didn't logo the stuff up, but they had all the jackets ready. And then they ended up going a different direction. I think that's when they made the contract with Fanatics. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled over behind home plate, and the count is 0-2. So what had ended up happening is Major League Baseball said, no, we're not going to take the product. So Majestic had all these jackets done, and they were done, I think, in Vietnam, if I'm not mistaken. And they couldn't. Majestic said, we at this company, whoever made the jackets, we can't pay the workers. So they offered the jackets to the workers in kind as in lieu of the payment. So a lot of this stuff ended up on eBay, and they were dumping it in the American markets. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's fouled away. And I guess the Major League Baseball had asked the American government to say that it was knockoffs or illegal, and Majestic was saying, no, it's not, because it's not logoed up. It was all colors. It's all plain Jane. And so anyways, they basically, the workers were getting a chance to sell their wares and probably made more money doing that than they actually would have got manufacturing it. There's a ground ball hit over to second. It is fielded, and it's booted by the second baseman, Nakano. Nakano's been pretty sure-handed for most of the series. And that one there ate him right up. That's going to be an E4. So that is going to allow Makihara to reach the base, and that'll bring up the catcher into Kashiamino. So anyways, just to finish that off, there was a few sellers that were on eBay and other markets that were really selling Majestic jackets that would probably retail at, probably north of, or probably around $100 US. We're running them out at like $30 a jacket. And he certainly were able to knock off as many. I don't know if that deal still exists, but glad I got the ones we did. Well, this brings to the plate Umino. And Umino is squaring to bunt. He is officially 0 for 12 in the series. That ought to tell you something. He's squaring to bunt. And they've got Masaki on deck. So if, in this particular case, we may have a pinch hitter, and that would be the end of the night for Atsu. And I think that the Tigers would be celebrating as they throw over to first base, and diving back is Makihara. Our friend Demon Slayer says our KBO run counts higher than the NPB. From what I understand, that would be yes. They are higher than the NPB, and the pitching isn't as good. There's a bunt, it's down. It's fielded by the pitcher, who fires it to first, or to the second baseman covering. Not a very good throw by the pitcher, Kirishiki. That's going to go down as a sacrifice. It's going to go 1-4 on the putout. Advancing to second is Makihara. And hiding in the dugout is going to be Kensuke Kondo. And so Kondo is going to get a chance to come up in the pinch hit. Oh, the Japanese, they do this stuff. You got to love it. They send Masaki out into the on-deck circle thinking maybe that's who it's going to be, and they got hiding in the dugout is Kondo. And, of course, he comes running out ready to hit. So Atsu's night is going to be done. And you got Kensuke Kondo coming into pinch hit. Now, that's quite the guy that you want coming off your bench. Hit .301 during the regular season. 10 homers and 41 RBIs. He was 3 for 9 in the Japan series. But he got all his at-bats in the first 2 games. Pitch on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Solario says it's a hitter's league. Probably the fact that the pitching's not as good. Good pitching beats good hitting all day long. So 1 ball and no strikes to Kondo. Runner at second, Makihara. Hawks looking to add to their 2-0 lead. But the game of cat and mouse in the chess game, as now both teams are going to have to go to their bullpens. It's going to be a bullpen to win it out here tonight. And all I can say to everybody is get the coffee going, because I have a feeling we're going to be here for a while. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side, and it's through into right field. Rounding third and heading home is Makihara, and that's going to be an RBI single off the bat of Kondo, and that is going to increase the lead to 3-0 here for the Hawks. Makihara home to score, so the error comes to haunt the Hawks, or it comes to haunt the Tigers in this inning, as that is how Makihara got aboard. Kensuke Kondo comes through with an RBI single, and that's going to bring up Yuki Yanagita in the top of the order. Good effort there by the second baseman Nakano, laying out to try to stop the ball, but wasn't able to get there. So Kondo aboard with a single. That's going to bring the top of the order Yanagita to the plate. And the first pitch to Yanagita is a fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. And our friend Tim in the house. How you doing, Tim? Not sure if you're watching this game in Tokyo tonight, but if you are, we're glad you made it in. And here comes the offering from the lefty. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow left field. Coming in on it with room to make the catch is the left fielder Maegawa, and that is going to do it. Yanagita's gone for the third out of the inning, but the Hawks strike again. They got one run in the inning on the benefit of one hit. There was the error, and there was one runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the sixth inning, it is the Hawks 3 and the Tigers no score. Stay tuned, everybody. The Hawks are going to the bullpen, and we'll be back in just a couple moments. Our friend All Rails says he's good, and he was watching the game live and tuned into our stream. Well, there's no better place to watch it live and listen to us flap away. We're glad you can make it in. We'll be back in just a couple of moments on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Stay with us, everybody. We got ourselves a 3-0 Hawks lead. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We've got ourselves a pitching change, and we'll get you that when we return in just a couple moments. It is 3-0 when we return. Welcome back, everybody. The Fukuoka Softbank Hawks have gone to their bullpen. It is going to be Morishita, Sato, and Oyama to come to bat here in the bottom of the sixth inning, and we're just taking a peek to see exactly who the Hawks are calling upon here as Atsu's day is done. So the Tigers need to strike, and this is an important part here of the ball game in which to do it, as they have a right-hander onto the hill. And the pitch on the way Fastball misses down. It is Koyafuji. Well, we have our answer. I wasn't sure that Koyafuji was going to be making an appearance again here tonight. He threw in last night's game. So Fuji is on in relief as the right-hander here delivered that first pitch low to Morishita. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. It's going to get down, and it's going to get cut off by the right fielder as they fire it back in. And holding at first with a long single is Morishita. So he is aboard. The one thing I always ask or I always wonder is the sharpness of the pitcher on back-to-back days. So Fuji had Monday off, got the opportunity they didn't need him on Sunday because of that blowout win. Then on Monday, he gets Monday off. And then on Tuesday, he throws 24 pitches. People say you could come back on 24 pitches, which is truth. That's not an issue. The issue would be is what does his movement have? Does he have any cuts? Does he have any arm side run? And in particular with Fuji, the way that his ball works, does he have enough bite on his pitch? So how is his splitty going to work the second day? Well, we're going to find out right now. The pitch on the way to Sato is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. So Sato tonight is 0 for 2. He is 4 for 13 in the series. Demon Slayer said Demon Slayer should probably get together with our friend Gracie Lynn. That's something that would probably be up her alley. Fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2 on Sato. One of the regulars to our channel, Gracie Lynn, who calls Birmingham, Alabama home for most of the year. She does all these simulation things. It's kind of crazy. But she does it for sports. If you could apply that to the gambling, it'd be interesting to see what they could come up with. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball down, and it gets away from the catcher, Amino. And that is going to advance the runner to second base. That's a wild pitch. It's going to run the count 1-2 strikes. So a wild pitch advancing Morishita over to second. And Fuji, 1-2 strikes to Sato. You got to think that the Tigers need to get some momentum here. Anything they can do to get even if Sato can ground out to the right side, move the runner over to third, and then they can try to punch a run home here. Try to get on the board in some capacity. The Tigers are starting to run out of outs as the righty Fuji works himself to the set position. As the pitch is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. Our friend Celerio says, a welcome change. Don't waste this here. Yeah, well, the Tigers tonight have stranded 5 aboard in the first 5 innings. We noted on a couple of occasions that this has been a challenge for both of these ball clubs. Last night, the Tigers left 11 runners on base. They need to get a clutch hit or two here to find themselves back in the ball game. As Fuji checks the runner, now delivers. There's a split figure pitch down in the dirt. The count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, I'm not sure where all this stuff is going long term. The AI and all the simulations and the different stuff, and certainly those who do enjoy the gambling aspect of stuff, where our world will be heading with this, especially in sports when you can pretty much bet on every pitch of a game. There's a pitch that's down. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but there's the home call. They say that Sato didn't go. I'd like to look at that one on the replay. And we are going to get a look at the replay of this one. So the pitch was down in the dirt. Oh, if you're a Fukuoka fan, you're probably throwing stuff at your television screen right now. But that's why you have the home calls and the home umpires. So you got to expect it. You got to earn it. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Sato. Runner at second, Morishita. Nobody out here in the 6th inning. And it is Yusuke Oyama waiting his turn on deck. As the right-hander works himself to the set, he checks the runner at second. And now he delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is popped up down the left field line. It's drifting over toward the seats, but underneath it with room is the third baseman, Kurihara. He's going to make the catch, and Sato is gone. That hurts. Pop-up. It wasn't even a quality at bat. He didn't get to the 8 pitches you would think as a mark for that. And the other piece to this is that he ends up hitting a pop-up on the opposite field side. If you would have grounded it over, then you move the runner 90 feet from home plate. And you got multiple ways to score him to be able to cut the lead. So if the Tigers don't punch a run, at least one run across here in this inning, they really only have themselves to blame. They're shooting themselves in the foot left and right. Well, Oyama comes to the plate. He had a single in the second inning, his first hit of the series. He's 1 for 13. As the right-hander Fuji holds to the set position. Checks the runner Morishita at second, now delivers. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Oyama. That might be the best pitch Oyama might see in this at bat, because it'll be Fuji and his diet of splitties that are going to be coming right after you. So no balls and 1 strike. On deck is Maegawa. We'll have to see if the Tigers have any tricks up their sleeves. As the right-hander works himself to the set position, he checks the runner at second. Now delivers. Fastball misses just off the outside corner, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Hawks enjoying a 3-0 lead here. They scored 1 in the second. They got 1 in the fifth. They added another in the sixth. Tigers looking to break the ice in some capacity here. They've got 1 ball and 1 strike to Oyama. Fuji works himself to the set. Checks the runner at second. Now delivers. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats on the first base side. The count is 1-2 to Oyama. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tigers trying to find a way to even the series. I'd have to go and do some homework on this, and maybe it'll be somebody will beat me to the punch. The last team to go down 3-1 in a Japan series to come back and win it is who? I just throw it out there because I don't know the answer off the top of my head. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled straight back. Oh, Oyama was on that one. Count is 1-2. It remains here to the Tigers' first baseman. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oyama batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Fuji. Maegawa waiting on deck. Here comes the pitch. Fuji kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on. It is lined. Oh my goodness, what a diving play by Nomura, moving to his right. Absolutely lays out, makes a fantastic catch. And Oyama snake-bitten as he is gone for the second out of the inning. He could just walk back to the dugout shaking his head. He's gone for out number 2. He hit that ball right on the screws. And Nomura 1-2 steps, dives, and lays out. Oh, that's a web gem right there. And any to the wherewithal to actually look back to second base. Thinking about maybe doubling off the runner Morishita. And that is going to bring up the left fielder in Yukio Maegawa. Well, the Tiger fans, sitting in disbelief. That ball was absolutely scorched. And here comes the pitch from Fuji. It's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. Magawa tonight 0 for 1 officially. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. We said the left field position has been a revolving door. And he is the next one up. And if he's probably just only average, he might be able to get a chance to live another day at left field tomorrow night. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses inside. Count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to the left fielder of the Tigers. Unbelievable. Well, 2 balls and no strikes. Fuji is behind in the count. Morishita, the runner, at second. As he holds to the set, checks the runner. And now delivers. Fastball swung on, popped up in foul territory over on the first base side, giving chase as the catcher, Amino. Oh, and he's dropped the ball. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know it's a little bit windy. I know the wind is picked up. I know it's changed its direction a little bit, but it's not like you're playing in Chiba. Or for in Yokohama, for that matter. Hit him right in the glove. We're going to see if they're going to call that an error or not. Oh, my goodness. 2 balls and 1 strike it is to Magawa. So the Tigers get another life here. Now they just need to make the Hawks pay. This has not been the series for Amino. Not offensively. Last night, not even defensively. Backhanding balls in the dirt, allowing runner to get 2 bases on a poorly blocked ball. As here comes the pitch from the right-hander. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 2-2 on Magawa. So Fuji's going to have to dig this out himself. I think if I'm on the shopping list, I know, hey, I listen, the Hawks were the first place team in the Pacific League, but if I'm out shopping next year, I want to upgrade my catching position, and I want to get myself a younger bat. And where that bat's going to play, probably in the outfield. So those are the 2 positions of need, I think, that I would be pressing for if I'm at Fukuoka. And there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's lifted into left field. Moving back underneath it with room to make the catch is Yanagita, and that is going to do it. As Magawa is gone for the 3rd out of the inning, so they survived the drop ball by the catcher in foul territory. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Our friend Solario, if he's still here listening, he's probably not going to be very happy. The Hawks coming to bat. It'll be Shuto, Yanagamachi, and Yamakawa when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel tonight. We'll be back in just a few.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Score is 3-0. We're moving to the top of the 7th inning as 2/3 of this one is in the books, and we'll be right back in just a few with all the action right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Shuto Yanagamachi and Yamakawa to come to bat here, as we are just waiting confirmation to see if the Tigers are going to the bullpen again. No, it is going to be Kirishiki still on the mound, as he's got a couple of lefties that he has to face, and Shuto squares to bunt, and he bunts that one foul down the third baseline, and the count is quickly 0-1. So 2 lefties here for the lefty to face, and then it'll be Yamakawa to come to bat after that. Very interesting. I just want to see if the catcher Amino was given an error on that drop pop-up. I don't know if that would have been added to the Hawks error list. We'll have to take a look there, as that pitch misses for a ball, and the count is 1-1 to Shuto. Does look like that is the case, as there would have been an error charged to the catcher on that drop pop fly. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 1-2 to Shuto. Have to take a peek here if where that would be. We didn't see anything there. That's the only place I can think of where the Hawks would have made that second error. They had one in the 6th inning. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on, and it is fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. I should say that. No, they had one back. The Hawks had one in the 3rd inning when Kurihara had made the error. It looks like they were charged at charged with the error there to the catcher there as well. There's a breaking ball that's down. It's in the dirt. Shuto swung at it. They're going to have to throw to first base, and he is going to be retired on a 2-3, strikeout 2-3 for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the right fielder in Tetsuro Yanagamachi. So Yanagamachi coming to the plate. He is officially 0 for 2 tonight. 2 strikeouts, a sac fly, and an RBI. And it looks like Darwinzon Hernandez is up and throwing in the Hawks bullpen. And that could go either way. Hernandez, I've seen him this year be really, really good, and I've seen him be really, really atrocious. The breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-0. So I guess it all depends on which Darwinzon shows up tonight. As the lefty delivers, there's a breaking ball missing down, and the count is 2-0. You've got the bottom third of the batting order to come up, and as I'd mentioned before at the top of the stream tonight, the Tigers' bottom third of the batting order has not been very good. They were 2 for 30 entering tonight's game. And if you include tonight now, they are 2 for 35. So that'll be crucial for them to get something going. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 2-1 to Yanagamachi. And that will be the interesting part of the matter. Fastball swung through and missed. Count is 1-1 to Yanagamachi. We had ourselves a fresh hot cup of tea, and we didn't get it down the right way. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded softly to second. Nakano fields it, throws to first, and that's going to retire Yanagamachi on a ground out 4-3. That's going to bring up the first baseman in Hotake Yamakawa as Yamakawa comes to bat. 1 for 2 and a walk tonight. But the one that he has was a home run back in the 2nd inning. His 3rd of the series. As the left-hander kicks and delivers. First pitch fastball swung on and missed. Looked like Yamakawa wanted to get another one there on that swing. Swung, almost lost his helmet. Almost did a 360. As the left-hander Kirishiki kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball down. Count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Yamakawa waiting on the offering from the lefty. The 1-1 on the way. As he kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count now goes to 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. Tiger fans that are with us tonight, the frustration is real. And we can feel your pain. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball down in the dirt. Now 2-2 to Yamakawa. They were the best team in the Central League, were the Tigers, for pretty much the whole 2025 campaign. Ran away with it. And in some ways, I wonder if that is a good thing. It really was a wonderment if they played an important game at all since, I would have said, since the early part of the year. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball waved out and missed. Probably not since early August, that they had an important game. And so, nothing to play for now. You got to turn it up in the Japan series and in the playoffs. And can you do it? Well, the Hawks go in order here. 1, 2, 3. Shuto, Yanagamachi, and Yamakawa all gone in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. Your score is the Hawks 3 and the Tigers no score. Stick with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments after this. Time out. It is 3-0 for the Hawks when we return. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the lefty Darwinzon Hernandez to come on in relief here. And as I said before, I've seen him pitch this year, and he has been absolutely outstanding. And there's been other times I've watched him pitch, and it looks like that they have to get a crane to pull the carcass off the mound, as he has not been as good. Well, we're going to find out which Hernandez it is. He started the year pretty good. I have to tell you, when you could get a left-handed pitcher throwing mid-90s, low 3/4 coming out of your bullpen, you got to think that Major League Baseball would potentially look at somebody like this to want to come on the scene and help him out. So the first pitch is a fastball that misses up. But you got to be able to throw strikes to the bottom part of the batting order here. I'd expect the pitcher's spot that comes up third to have a pinch hitter. And I would expect that Sakamoto and Obata have struggled to get on base in the series. Although Sakamoto has a walk tonight, one or two of these guys have to find a way on. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 1-1. Solario says, I can't find any instances of a team coming back from 3-1 down and winning. 2 instances of 3-0 down and winning. That'd be interesting. There's a fastball swung on. This is popped up into shallow center field in and making the catch, but making it entertaining was Shudo. That's going to retire Sakamoto for the first out of the inning. So one gone here. And I'll bring up Ryuhei Obata to the plate. Looks like there are changes for the Hawks defensively. Looks like Kawase is in at short. Over to first is Kurihara, and the third baseman's Nomura. That means that Yamakawa is out of the game. So by my account, that looks like Kawase would go into the spot where Yamakawa was in the batting order. And there's a fastball that swung on and missed. The count is 0-1 to Obata. So interesting, Kawase in. As the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-2. No Kenta Imamiya sightings tonight. Also interesting there as well. Friend Solario says in 1989, the Kintetsu Buffaloes lost, and in 58 it was the Lions over Hyojin. As there is a fastball swung on and missed, and Obata is gone. Quick work here for 2 quick outs. And we're going to see who is coming up here, as it is the pitcher's spot in the batting order, as we expect the Tigers to be going. Get somebody to pull a bat off the bat rack to come in to hit. And that's exactly what it is. It's number 61 on to hit. And by our accounts here, I don't know who 61 is. That's Hiroshi Toyota. So Hiroshi Toyota, as he has in the hole at 1 strike. Toyota had the start in left field last night that didn't go so well. As he was only out there for a couple innings, he butchered a ball in left field, and they took him out pretty quick. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. That last pitch was at 96 on the gun. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Toyota. Toyota batting here as Hernandez delivers. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lefty Hernandez working to the belt now delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. And boy, Darwinzon Hernandez comes out and does what, well, we said he could possibly do, and that is look like $1 million. And that's what he did here tonight. He retires the side in order 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now through 7. Tigers running out of outs. 3-0 lead for the Hawks. As we go to the top of the 8th, it'll be Kurihara, Nomura, and Makihara to come to bat when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for listening on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is the Hawks and the Tigers, Game 4 of the Japan Series, when we return after this. Your score is 3-0 for the Hawks. We'll be back in just a couple moments right after this with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the import Rafael Dolis to come in relief here as he will take over on the mound. He's going to be facing Ryoya Kurihara, Isami Nomura, and Taisi Makihara as the first pitch on the way as a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 0-1 to Kurihara. Kurihara 3 for 15 in the Japan series as he has struggled here. And he has struggled defensively. He's made an error tonight, and he made an error in last night's game. So he has not had a series to write home about to this point. But they are on the winning side right now are the Hawks, as there's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 strike. He is now the first baseman in the ball game as Yamakawa's night is over. So Dolis leaning in, getting the sign as he kicks and delivers. There's a split finger pitch that's waved at and missed, and the count goes to 1-2 on Kurihara. See some different grips sometimes. That one there is Dolis straddling the outer seams of the ball. Sometimes you'll see guys, and as he delivers a fastball that misses up and away, over the last couple of nights, guys will straddle one of the seams. In other words, he takes it to the traditional split finger pitch, takes it to the outside of the two seams of a two-seam fastball. Sometimes we've seen pitchers where they straddle one side of the seam or the other. There's a ball that's grounded up the middle. It is fielded by Obata moving to his left. He throws to first, and Kurihara is in the books on a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1. That'll bring up the now third baseman in Isami Nomura. Well, Nomura, on the other hand, has made some spectacular plays. He made that diving catch in the last half inning, robbing Oyama of a hit. He's 1 for 3 at the plate tonight, 1 for 7 in the series. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Dolis. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that misses up and in. 1 ball and no strikes to Nomura. So 1 ball and no strikes. Dolis kicks and delivers. Fastball misses inside. The count goes to 2-0. It's getting to the point here where the Hawks, so to speak, going to try to close this one out. And then who knows tomorrow night, as we don't have the starters yet announced. That fastball swung through and missed. We took a look to see if they had made an announcement for tomorrow's starters, but nothing at this point has been officially named. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Nomura. I don't even know if I can speculate who they would be. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's hammered foul. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. I was thinking we might see Ozeki maybe for the Hawks. That would be my guess there. Not sure where the Tigers would roll out in their do-or-die game. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way, there's a split figure pitch that's down. The home plate umpire points at Nomura, saying that he went around, and he is going to be gone on strikes for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the second baseman in Taisi Makihara. Well, for Makihara tonight, he's officially 0 for 3. He's grounded out to third. He's grounded into a double play, and then he reached on an error by the second baseman in the 6th inning. And he was brought home on an RBI single off the bat of Kensuke Kondo, who had come in to pinch hit. And the pitch from Dolis on the way. It's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. Makihara 3 for 14 in the series. So check that, 4 for 14. Actually, they ruled that as a single in the last half inning. That's unbelievable. I had to go back and check my scorecard. Well, I guess there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. The count now is 0-2. I think they need to have a look at that one. That, to me, was an error all the way by the second baseman. I guess they didn't want to change his fielding stats. So here we go. No balls and 2 strikes to Makihara. At least 4 for 14 looks a little bit better. That's as opposed to 3 for 14. Here's the pitch. Fastball down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As a reminder, if you're back around tomorrow night, we'll be back on the call again for Game 5 of the series. So hopefully Game 5 will bring some entertainment for all of us and keep it going, maybe even to a Game 6. As I said, for a neutral standpoint, I'd love to be able to see that. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down. It's now 2-2 to Makihara. I don't have an allegiance either way to either of these two clubs. I just want to see some good baseball. As this game is now approaching the 3-hour mark. As the right-hander works himself to the belt. And now the pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on and missed. They tag Makihara, and he's going to be gone. So the Leafs does his job as they go in order here to the Hawks. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 8th inning, coming to bat. It'll be the top of the order for the Tigers. And I got to say, it's either now or never as we are moving to the top half or bottom half of inning number 8. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after this.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
We got a 3-0 lead as we move to the bottom of the 8th. Our friend Wang Ken in the house here, and he says, are we in the same situation yesterday? Pretty much, as they're here to do it all over again. We'll be back in just a moment after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is Yuki Matsumoto coming on to pitch the 8th inning here as he's going to be facing Chikamoto, Nakano, and Morishita, the top of the order. As the Tigers are going to need some instant runs here. They find themselves down 3-0, and they've only got 6 outs left to play with as the right-hander ready to go. So let's see what happens here in inning number 8 as Matsumoto delivers a first pitch fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. Chikamoto, 1 for 3 tonight, has a single in 3 trips. He's struck out twice. He has now 5 for 16 in the Japan series. But they need some base runners, do the Tigers, to set the table for the meat of the order. As the pitch is a fastball that misses outside and the count runs even to 1-1. So as our friend Wang Ken says, or Wang Ken, about same situation as last night. Yeah, this is the problem here. You've got the tough part of the bullpen on the mound for the Hawks as that breaking ball misses outside. The count goes to 2-1. The Hawks bullpen is extremely strong. And they can shut down a lead. There's a fastball swung on. This is going to be lined into right center field for a base hit. Over to cut it off is Shuto, and that's exactly what the Tigers need, is a leadoff single here by Chikamoto. And that is going to bring up Takumo Nakano to the plate. So the Tigers better get something going here. This is the time right here and now. So Chikamoto with his second hit of the evening. I don't know if I'd be running in this situation per se, because you get thrown out here, you're in trouble, but Amino hasn't exactly been great behind the plate. There's a fastball that just misses low for ball one, and the count is 1-0 to Nakano. Getting into this situation here where the home plate umpire forgets how to raise his hand for a called strike. That last pitch was pretty close. Looked like it was right at the knees. I think the K zone might tell you differently. There's a breaking ball down, and the count is 2-0. If you're going to get to somebody, I think your chances here might be better to go after Matsumoto than it would be Sugiyama, but who knows? As the right-hander holds to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside. It's now 3-0. And you got Morishita and Sato to come to bat here. As the script of this game changes, I get the feeling maybe we should be putting another pot of coffee or some tea on, because the Tigers are able to get some runs here. This game could go on for more than 9 innings. Pitch on the way, fastball taken for a called strike. It's now 3-1 to Nakano. Three-run lead. I think I'd rather have a 3-run lead than a 2-run lead, but you don't want to put the other runner on base. Here comes the 3-1 offering. As the pitch is delivered, there's a fastball up. It's going to be ball 4, and Nakano's going to be aboard, and they got the first 2 batters aboard here to start the 8th inning. And that is going to bring Shota Morishita to the plate. Well, if you are a Tigers fan, it's all you can ask for. That says there's a chance on the scoreboard in straightaway center field. Yeah, you got a chance. So the conference on the mound has been broken up, and we're ready to go here. So Morishita tonight has been swinging a hot bat. He entered the game tonight he was 2 for 11. He's 2 for 3 tonight, both singles. So now 4 for 14 in the series. As the right-hander Matsumoto goes down the mound to do a little bit of gardening, and we're ready to resume the action here. So the Tigers looking to capitalize on their opportunity right here and now. First pitch on the way. Fastball swung through and missed. Morishita wanted to tie the game up with one swing of the bat. It's no balls and 1 strike. Infield and double play depth. The third baseman, Nomura, is a little close to the line. They've got a 6-hole that is wide open for Morishita. As he bats here with 2 on and nobody out. Matsumoto holds to the set. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. Our friend God is Great says he is still listening and watching the game. That's awesome. We were wondering, Titus, if you were still kicking about. If you had nodded off, but we're glad you could hang in. Are we in for a dramatic finish? We're about to find out. Here comes the pitch from Matsumoto. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. That stiffened up Morishita, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's now or never for the Tigers here. 2 on, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. Morishita at the plate. As the right-hander Matsumoto holding to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside, backs Morishita off the play. That's a good pitch there by Matsumoto. Didn't hit him, but you got to move his feet around a little bit, and that's exactly what he accomplished. Make him feel uncomfortable in the box. So we got 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander Matsumoto getting his sign from the catcher Umino. Morishita looking to stay alive. Here comes the pitch. And it's on its way. Fastball swung on, grounded foul just past the third base coach's box. And we're going to do the 2-2 all over again. The sand in the hourglass is starting to run out here for the Tigers, but the opportunity for them here to do some damage. And the bottom of the 8th inning is alive and well. Chikamoto at second, Nakano at first. Morishita digging at the plate. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander holds to the set, here comes the pitch. On its way. Oh, fastball center cut. I'm not sure what Morishita was looking at. He takes it for a called 3rd strike. And he's walking off. I'm not sure what he has to say, but he's probably talking to Sato saying, look, the pitch was coming right down the middle, and I looked at it. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Teruki Sato to the plate. Well, if there was ever a time for the Central League home run hitter to deliver, this would be it right now. He is 0 for 3 tonight, 4 for 14 in the series. He's got no homers and 3 runs batted in. Taps both sides of the plate, and he's ready to go to work here versus the pitcher Matsumoto. So Matsumoto holds set. And here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and away for ball 1. 1-0 to Sato. You might get 1 pitch in this at bat to do damage with. Oyama waiting on deck. Hawks pitchers trying to seal the deal here for them. As the right-hander Matsumoto holds set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down and away. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say Sato didn't go. 2 balls and no strikes. A younger Sato a couple of years ago probably would have offered at that pitch. But not this version, not the 2025 version. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander Matsumoto getting the sign. Here he goes back to work. Pitch on the way. Fastball again misses outside, and it's now 3-0. They do have the open base, and it is Oyama who waits on deck. So do you take your chances with the big fella? The other big fella in the lineup. And Sato here, waiting on the offering from Matsumoto as he holds to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle into center field for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Chikamoto. The throw comes into third. It's not going to be in time. And the Tigers are on the board with an RBI. Base hit single off the bat of Teruaki Sato. So the Tiger fans now have something to cheer about as they've cut the lead to 3-1. And they've got runners on the corners with one gone, and it's going to bring Yusuke Oyama to the plate. That is some clutch hitting right there by Sato, and our friend Solario pumping a fist. As that is exactly what the Tigers needed. And now that is going to bring Oyama to the plate. And the Hawks are not out of the woods yet. There's still only one gone here, as the pitching coach made a quick trip out to the mound. Have a word with his reliever. Oyama tonight 1 for 3. He is 1 for 14 in the series. Had a single back in the second inning. As he steps in here, ready to face the offering from the right-hander Matsumoto. As he holds to the set position, here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is going to be looped softly over to the right side of the infield. The second baseman, Makihara, fields it. He throws to second. They're going to get Sato on a fielder's choice. In to score the second run is Nakano. They have cut the lead to 3-2. It's going to be an RBI. It's going to be a fielder's choice. So Sato is going to be gone. He's gone 4-6 for out number 2. Oyama is safe at first. He gets an RBI, and that is going to cut the lead to 3-2, and he's going to be run for now as well. So nice play there by Makihara going to his glove side to be able to make the turn and fire to second base. So the bat may not be working for Makihara as he'd like, but the glove sure did. Ball had a lot of English on it. He made a great play. And they barely got Sato at second base. Whew. So 2 gone here, and that'll bring up the left fielder in Yukio Maegawara. As Maegawara steps to the plate here. 0 for 2 tonight. He was hit by a pitch, and he's flown out twice to left field. And the pitch coming from Matsumoto is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. If you just joined us, it is 3-2 now for the Hawks over the Tigers. Tigers have a right-hander up and throwing in their bullpen. Can't quite see the number on this guy. I'll have to wait and see who that's going to be. And stepping off the backside of the mound is Matsumoto. So here comes the pitch from Maegawara. It's a fastball swung on, grounded to second. Makihara fields it. He throws to first. And that is going to do it. Well, the Tigers do damage, and they've cut the lead to 1, as it is an RBI single off the bat of Sato and an RBI fielder's choice off the bat of Oyama. And your score now is 3-2. 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. No errors, and there was a runner left aboard. We're moving to the top of the 9th inning, and your score is the Hawks 3 and the Tigers 2. Stay with us, everybody. It's going to be an entertaining finish. We'll be back to deliver it for you here in just a couple minutes after this. We'll be right back in just a few. a 4-3 ball game as we move to the top of the ninth inning, and they are trying to close it out. Are the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks? They come to bat here in the top of the ninth inning, and we'll be back in 30 seconds with all the action right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is Daichi Ishii who is on the hill, and Takeshi Amino has stepped up to the plate here to lead it off. He is 0 for 2 tonight with a sacrifice bunt, 0 for 12 in the series, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. The count's 0-1. It is the pitcher's position who is up next, and we'll have to see what they have in mind. They do now have a new first baseman to the Tigers. Get that for you in a second as that fastball is swung through and missed. I wonder if it's Jeter Downs over at first base there. I can't quite tell. I didn't think it was. No, it's Jeter Downs, obviously. Sorry, that's with the Hawks. It looks like it might be Kumagagi. Oh, 2 pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs. The count goes to 1-2 on Amino. We are in the top of the ninth inning. 3-2 Hawks lead over the Tigers. Didn't check to see what the over-under on this one was. My guess would have been probably 5.5 at the outset. Right now, it'd probably be the under, people pumping a fist. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Amino down on strikes. Having a tough series at the plate, 0 for 13. He's starting to make Takuya Kai look like a contact hitter. Well, this is going to be Hikaru Kawase who's coming to bat here. So it looked like it was a double switch. So Kawase up to bat as the right-hander Ishii ready to go to work. I thought he might have been in the spot where Yamakawa was. And he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. And the count is 0-1. So when Yamakawa came out of the ball game, that is where they made their switch. Here's the pitch. Fastball down, and it bounces, and it goes all the way to the backstop, and the count now goes to 1-1. Wayne Ken says he bet on the Blue Jays today. Well, the closer Sugiyama up in the bullpen, he's getting loose, so you know that's going to happen. And he is going to be facing the bottom 3 of the batting order. So the Tigers looking ahead here, they're going to have to get at least one guy on to get it to Chikamoto. And if they can do that, well, then anything can happen. So 1 ball and 1 strike as the right-hander holds set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It's going to be lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. The success of the Toronto Blue Jays has swept the country. I was talking to some people earlier today, and they have relatives on the East Coast, and they were up till 3 in the morning listening to that ball game, the 18-inning game the other night. Good thing they didn't have to go up and get up for work the next morning early. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2 to Kawase. Yuki Yanagita waiting his turn on deck here for Fukuoka. If you had just joined us, the Hawks opened the scoring in the second inning on a solo shot off the bat of Yamakawa. They added another run in the 5th after Tetsuro Yanagamachi hit a sac fly to bring home the pitcher, Atsu. And they added another in the 6th and an RBI single off the bat of Kensuke Kondo, who came in to pitch hit for the pitcher, as Taisi Makihara had come in to score a run, and that was where they were, 3-0. But the Tigers scored 2 in the bottom of the 8th to make it a ball game. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 1-2 to Kawase. And here we are in the top of the 9th inning. And I got to tell you, from a series standpoint, I'd like nothing more to see the Tigers win either tonight or tomorrow night to drag this series back to Fukuoka. Whether the Hawks win it or the Tigers win it is indifferent to me. Just would like to see the series back in Fukuoka. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On its way, fastball swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 1-2, and you can bookmark the minute I've said this. I do think if it goes back to Fukuoka, or even if the Tigers get a win here, I do believe it is going to be more than likely Fukuoka winning this series. Stranger things have happened, but I just think right now the pitching and the hitting, just too much depth here with the Hawks. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. I was speculating a couple innings earlier, if you're the Tigers, what do you do in the offseason? I was also saying about the Hawks, what do you do in the offseason? The Hawks, you got to go get a catcher, and you got to get yourself another bat in the outfield. And the first thing I do if I'm the Tigers, you got to solve the left field issue. There's just too many revolving doors and not really enough NPB caliber players holding down the left field spot. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On its way. Fastball swung on and missed, and Kawase's in the books. He's gone for out number 2. So back-to-back strikeouts here for Ishii. This brings Yuki Yanagita to the plate. And Yanagita tonight, 1 for 3 and a hit by pitch. So if you're the Tigers, what are you shopping for if you're the Tigers in the offseason? As I said, you got to get yourself a left fielder. That's number 1. And the next question is where else can you upgrade? Do they need a catcher? Do they need somebody in the middle infield that can hold those positions down? I don't think I trade off either one of the 2 middle infielders. Fastball misses up and away. Counts 1-0. Obata at short, and then you've got Nakano, the second baseman. I think Nakano was, 4th in the league in stolen bases. Pretty good. But maybe you got to go out and get yourself another arm at the back end of your bullpen. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and it counts 1-1 to Yanagita. Our Filipino friend he says the Tigers curse after 2023. I don't know. Maybe that's a new curse for the Hanshin Ball Club. I don't believe in that anymore. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into shallow center field coming in, and it's going to fall in front of Chikamoto. So Yanagita aboard with a 2-out single. His second hit of the night, and that's going to bring Yukio Shudo to the plate. But I got to tell you, Yanagita looked like he really crawled the ladder. We're going to have a pinch hitter for him, as it is going to be Ogata who is coming in to run for him. So that'll be a defensive replacement as well. Once upon a time, Yanagita was the guy. He is a little bit long in the tooth these days, so defensive replacement for him. A pinch running opportunity. And so we got the runner at first here with 2 outs. Shudo coming to the plate. Shudo 1 for 4 tonight. 8 for 16 in the Japan series. As he steps to the dish here, ready to face the right-hander Ishii. As the right-hander ready to go, he works himself to the set. He throws over to first, and diving back is Ogata. I wonder if they put Ogata in motion here. I wonder if they would do that. You got a 3-2 lead. You get him over to second. The way Shudo's been swinging the bat. So Ishii takes the look. He looks over at the runner at first. Holds himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Count 0-1 to Shudo. I'm not sure if he liked that particular call. Pitch was at the knees. It looked like pretty good on our vantage point. It also looked pretty good on the K zone. Sure what he was so confused about. Here comes the 0-1 offering as Ishii holds set. No, he throws over to first. They are concerned about Ogata. And you know what? I would be too. You could push another run across. It makes it a bigger, more difficult hill to have to climb over for the Tigers. So no balls and 1 strike to Shuto. And if you get thrown out, and if the game ends up going into 10 innings, well, you got Shuto coming up to lead it off, I guess. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Moving over underneath it is Chikamoto. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it as Shuto has gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and now it is going to be Sugiyama coming in to face the bottom 3 hitters of the batting order. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left to board. Our Filipino friend says, me and the boys are listening to this at a 7-Eleven while eating dinner. Yeah, I can't wait to get into the Asian 7-Elevens or something special. I can tell you that. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back to see if they can seal the deal. Back in a few. We got ourselves a ball game. We're moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is 3-2 for the Hawks over the Tigers. It is going to be Sugiyama coming on in relief, and we'll be back here to call it for you in just a couple moments. We'll be right back in just a few.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Back, everybody. It is going to be Seishiro Sakamoto, Ryuhei Obata, and the pitcher's spot in the batting order slated to come to bat to face Kazuki Sugiyama, who is going to try to come on to close out the deal here for the Hawks in this one. It looks like we may have a pinch hitter, and it looks like it is going to be the end of the night for Sakamoto. And it looks like it is going to be Nozomu Takatera, who has seen action in the series. So he is the first one off of the bench. So they need to get themselves some life. And Takatera is coming in to pinch hit here. Our friend Chris says he's leaping onto the stream for the 9th inning. He says, still getting over that 6-hour World Series game. Great to have you in here, Chris. Appreciate you for popping in tonight. Well, here we go. Here's the first pitch to Takatera. It's a fastball that misses up, and the count is 1-0. They need a base runner to the Tigers, as the right-hander Sugiyama goes back to work again. There's a fastball swung on. It is popped up on the left side of the infield. Underneath it is Kawase battling the wind, and he makes the catch. And that is going to retire Takatera for the first out of the innings. So 1 up and 1 away. That means They got 2 outs left to play with. So 1 gone here. That's going to bring Ryuhei Obata to the plate. The Hawks are trying to close this one out. Here's the first pitch to Obata. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Sugiyama working very quickly. Delivers again. Fastball bounces in the dirt and goes all the way to the backstop. Count is 1-1. Obata hop to get out of the way. That's the one you want to probably lean yourself into. So Sugiyama ready to go back to work again. It is Seiya Kanami who is moved into the on-deck circle, and there's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So they need 1 guy to roll it over for the top of the order, and it doesn't matter who it is. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This is popped up, and this is over on the third base side. Giving chase is Nomura, but he's going to watch it get into the seats, and the count now is 2-2 to Obata. We mentioned at the top of the stream tonight how the bottom part of the batting order has been abysmal for the Tigers. They entered 2 for 30. And right now they are 2 for 39. Bottom 3 in the order here in the Japan series. Another fastball swung on and lifted foul. Now, as we mentioned, the games 3 and 4 had the pitchers hitting. And I get that. I understand that. But the first 2 games haven't, and they've only got 2 hits out of those spots. There's a fastball that bounces in the dirt, and it's now gone full to Obata. So Sugiyama has run the count full here. 1 gone in the 9th inning. They need a batter, and it's Kanami who is on deck. Anybody to turn it over to the top of the order. If we can get it to the top of the order, it could be high-end entertainment. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded on the backhand by Kurihara. He flips to the pitcher covering, and that is going to retire Obata on a ground out 3-1. And it is going to be Seiya Kanami coming up here as Sugiyama does a great job to get over to cover the bag. And now the Tigers are down to their final out. Our Filipino friend said early in the season the Hawks had struggled, yet here they are, close to another championship. Yeah, and I think enjoy it now because the fighters are not just knocking on the door. I think they're ready to kick the door down. And unless the Hawks make a couple of changes for next year, it could be a problem. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Seiya Kanami. I mentioned earlier in the stream, we were talking about that the fact that the Hawks are starting to get a little bit old, maybe not on the pitching side, but certainly on the offensive side. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that just misses down. Count is 1-1 to Kanami. Tigers down to their final out. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, popped up. Foul territory over on the third base side. It's playable. The wind is... Oh, my goodness. The wind is taking it, and Nomura unable to make the catch as he's overrun the ball. And Kanami is going to have second life. Oh, boy. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. That should have ended the game right there. And we got a pop-up that hits the floor. Unbelievable. I can't believe what I'm watching. That's the 3rd error of the night. I guess it hit his glove here. 2 of them were drop pop-ups. Well, Sugiyama back to work. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On its way. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. If this game continues on, that will be the play of the series. Oh, my goodness. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the third base line. Whew. 2 balls and 2 strikes it remains. Now they're down to their final strike are the Tigers here. If you just joined us, a drop pop-up by the third baseman Nomura. Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 2-2. Epic finish. Unless you're a Fukuoka fan, you're probably throwing stuff at your television. Unbelievable. Who would have thunk it? So here comes the pitch from Sugiyama. He delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded to the right side, fielded by Makihara. He underhand flips to first, and that is going to do it. It's going to go as a ground out, 4-3 for the third out of the inning. And the Tigers are gone in order here, 1, 2, 3 in the ninth. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Your final score is the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks 3 and the Hanshin Tigers 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments, and we'll be back on the air again tomorrow night for Game 5 of this series. It could be all over tomorrow, or it could be going back to Fukuoka for Saturday. But either way, we'll have it for you tomorrow night. Again, your final score is the Hawks 3, the Tigers 2. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks again for everybody for hanging in here tonight to listen to us make the call of the game. We'll give you the roundup here tonight. This game here lasted 3 hours and 31 minutes. Your final score again was 3-2 for the Hawks. Hawks got the scoring going in the top of the second inning when it was Hotake Yamakawa leading off with a solo shot, give the Fukuoka Ball Club an early 1-0 lead. They added to their lead in the fifth inning with one out. It was a walk to the pitcher, Ryusuke Atsu. And after a Yuki Yanagita single, Yukio Shudo singled to load the bases. And up stepped Tetsuro Yanagamachi. He had a sacrifice fly to bring home the pitcher Atsu to give them a 2-0 lead. It was an interesting situation because the single by Shudo ultimately physically knocked the pitcher Takahashi out of the ballgame with a line drive off his pitching forearm. And that was the end of the night for him. But they added to their lead to make it 2-0 at that point. They added another run, did the Hawks, in the sixth with one out. It was a single off the bat of Makihara. After Amino bunted him over to second with two gone, it was a pinch hitter, Kensuke Kondo, stepped up and drove home a run to make the scoreline 3-0. Well, the Hawks were enjoying that lead, and it was the Tigers who made noise in the eighth inning. A single by Koji Chikamoto, a walk to Takuma Nakano. After Shota Morishita looked at called third strike, Teruki Sato singled home Chikamoto with the first Tiger run of the game that put runners to the corners. And then Oyama stepped up and bounced into a fielder's choice, bringing home Nakano. And that made the scoreline 3-2, and that is where it ended. Well, the win tonight goes to Atsu. He is 1-0 in the Japan series. His save goes to Sugiyama. The loss tonight is going to get tagged to Takahashi. He'll drop to 0-1 in the Japan series. And that is what we have shaping up. Well, tomorrow, we're looking ahead. We're going to see if they've made the announcement for the starters for tomorrow's games. And as of this time, they haven't done that quite yet. We're hoping they make that announcement here very, very soon. All right, everybody. Well, once again, you've listened to the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We want to thank everybody again for hanging out with us here tonight. We hope you all have a great night. Come on back again tomorrow. We're going to see if the Tigers can get it done tomorrow night to extend it to a Game 6. If not, the Japan series will be wrapping up. And all we got left is maybe the KBO to have to watch. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you again tomorrow.